Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing? Eric here. You are watching the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark, and I am back again. Audio is too high. Hold on. Let me get this right. There we go. It's better. I was on vacation, so things were kind of quiet for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So like 4 days, 5 days ish. Because I decided to detox from social media. So I had to catch up with everything last night. I kind of went through and looked at stuff. I made my video today, which by the way, I did a video today talking about another video from Heavy Spoilers, but the topic was the DCU and where the DCU is going. And I had fun making that video. It's on the Reloaded channel if you haven't watched it yet, only because I think it's quite interesting that so many people are convinced that DC is cooked because of Supergirl. Like, quite literally, there are a lot of people that believe Supergirl has essentially destroyed the entire DCU, and I just don't understand that thought process. I don't really know where that came from, so I made that video, talked about it over there. On my Debunks channel, I covered the news from FNT, these are like pro free speech people, but they removed Chrissy Mayer from their podcast entirely. She's officially gone because of her expressing her free speech. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't like them. I don't like Chrissy Mayer, so that doesn't matter. But that video is up on the Debunks channel today, so please go over, show it some love. If you're watching on mobile, make sure you're hyping stuff if you can. If you're not aware of that, if you participate on YouTube, you get the ability to hype videos. You get a certain amount allotted to you through points. Consider hyping videos of mine that you would like to, push out there a little bit further. I do appreciate that. I'm going to give some shout outs to some channel members that are in here right now. Fetman Plays, what's going on? Harrison James is here. Synth Music World is in the house. Good to see you. Jose is here. Good to see you, Jose. Dalton's in the building. Cameron's here. Mercenary, Keyblade Master Jeffrey, Game Dude is here. Chris is here. Ira's here. Early. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming out and hanging out early. Do appreciate it. All right. So tonight we've got three, I guess, major topics. We're going to talk about, the DCU and some Blue Beetle news. We're going to talk about Spider-Man's opening weekend projections. I'm getting a little warm in here now. I might cut my fan on a second. And we're going to talk about the Odyssey. We might even watch a video. There's like a trending video from Film Threat that I really want to talk about. I'll probably do a full video for it tomorrow on Debunks, but I want to talk about it here with you guys. It's an out of theater reaction from those guys. So we'll do that. How was my vacation? My vacation was good. Let me turn on my fan and then we'll talk about it. Getting a little warm in here. All right. So, we left on Thursday night. I, went and rented a car, because I did not want to drive my car for 4 hours. I preferred to rent a car, one that is better on gas. I have an SUV because I have to haul DJ equipment everywhere. I don't have a very good, economically good car. So I rented a car. The gas prices were incredible because I could fill up the whole thing for $20-$30. And I'm like, oh, so this is what happens when you have a small car that was made in the last 2 years. So I'm considering getting a different vehicle. So, we have 2 cars now. Both of them are SUVs. We'll probably sell one of the SUVs because the gas prices are too damn high. So we went up on Thursday and we stayed overnight. Before I finish my story, I do want to bring in some people from the back rooms, not the scary ones. By the way, that's out on VOD if you want to watch that now. Not the scary back rooms, the nice, fun back rooms right here. So we have Darren in the building. What's up, Darren? How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. I'm
good.
I'm glad you had a good break. A good vacation.
Oh, well, I'll have to tell you, like, we'll go over it quickly. It only take me like 5 minutes, but I had a lot of fun stuff that I did. And I essentially didn't get on Discord. I didn't get on any social media. I didn't get on YouTube. I had stuff scheduled to go out, but I didn't like check it or read comments or anything like that. We also have Joe in the building. What's going on, Joe? Did you fall asleep and wake up in time for the show?
I've been asleep and not asleep, and depends
okay.
on what time you catch me.
So yeah, I wrote back to Joe because Joe had texted me a few times, but I literally had my phone on Do Not Disturb the entire weekend. So I got home, turned it back on, and then everything was there. The only reason why is I fear if I check my phone for any reason at all, I will end up sitting on my phone and doing stuff. So literally it was set to emergency contacts only, and then everything else was completely drowned out for the weekend. But on Friday, went to the Visual Arts Museum in Baltimore, which was a lot of fun. It was really hot, but it was nice. A lot of really cool, exhibits there. There's a giant, we took a picture in front of these giant poodles called Fifi. I guess that's the name of the poodles. But it was a really cool museum. We went to the aquarium there. It's like a 5-story aquarium where they have like sharks and all kinds of fish and things like that in it. There's an Australian exhibit there. I thought Paigey might be hiding somewhere, but I didn't see him, unfortunately. By the way, I've spoken to Paigey. I'm going to tell the chat about what Paigey said to me. There's some funny stuff that we discussed when I got back. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Did some thrift store shopping on the way back. We stopped at 2 different like massive thrift stores and looked at some old stuff. By the way, we stopped at one. This is a funny story. I'll keep it very short though. We stopped at one in the middle of nowhere because we got diverted from traffic because the interstate was backed up for like miles and miles and miles. So they sent us down another way. And we're in like some very rural area, and we found this like amazing thrift store. I think I have a picture of the where's it at? Of what was out front. Let me find it here. They have like a bat copter out front. Yeah, I'll show you the picture. So here was the bat copter they had in front of this building. It's like a little bat copter. And I was like, okay, we're going to stop here because it looks really cool. Right. And I was excited to do that. It was racist as fuck. Like the entire inside of this building was like very racist shit. Now it was in the middle of like nowhere. So, it's like, it was all fields and nothing for miles. And then you get to like this main street and it's kind of like a very dense city area in the middle of nothing. And so we were like, there's an ice cream shop. There's a thrift store there. We stop, we go in and it's like blackface stuff everywhere and all of these other things. And I was like, wait, no. And we tried to get away from it. And then there was a little section. Keep in mind, this is a thrift store and a like custom artwork and stuff like that. There was a whole section filled up with cheap MAGA merchandise, like all Make America Great Again, Let's Go Brandon, shit like that. We were like, okay, it's time to go. So when we saw that, like we saw the racist stuff, we were going around and I'm like, when we get back to the front, we might go upstairs because they had a second level, but we saw the Let's Go Brandon MAGA stuff. And I was like, okay, there's nothing on the second level that I really want to see. So we left and we got the fuck out of there. And the last bit of thing I will tell you before we move on to our stuff for the night is as we were coming home, it was Saturday when we left and we were on our way back from Baltimore. It was free Slurpee day at 7-Eleven. Now, here's the thing. There's like 10 of them between where we were and where, I live. So we stopped at every single one and got a different flavor of free Slurpee on the way back. We were so jacked up in like with sugar by the time we got home and we couldn't even sleep, but it was fun. So outside of the very racist thrift store that we ran into, the trip was rather fun. Also, we ate at a place called the Iron Horse. I don't know if anybody knows about this. It's in, I want to say Lynchburg, Virginia. It's somewhere in that area. We ate there. Their water tasted like chapstick and dirt. It was the grossest water I've ever had. And like immediately we all ordered like a cocktail from the bar. And I'm like, I wonder if that's their thing. They give you water that tastes really bad so that you will buy something from the bar. I do wonder. I'm not accusing them. It's just a little speculation. Anyway, but the trip was good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, no, it was a fun trip. I got away from everything for like 4 or 5 days and came back and just ready to talk about. We got a lot of really good news today. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Couple of things. By the way, I am officially on no more Spider-Man spoilers because there's a lot out there. There is one tiny video with Destin talking about the movie very, very briefly. We're going to watch that and we're going to look at like the projections for the opening weekend, but I'm not watching any more Spider-Man trailers. We're a couple weeks out. I don't want to get spoiled by anything. And this is the time when movies start to like amp up their promotion and you get way too much stuff. So
I agree.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. Synth Music World gifted a membership. Congratulations, whoever got that. Thank you, Synth Music World, for doing that. By the way, I am revamping membership stuff. You guys are going to see new emojis. We're going to add some new emojis in there this upcoming week. I already have some ideas for them. So anybody that's already a member, depending on what tier you're on, you'll see, different emojis in there. And we're going to be bringing back members-only chat streams, like once or twice a month. So those will be coming back starting in August. So thank you for that. And that'll be for both channels. So Debunks and Reloaded, you'll be getting new emojis there. All right. So we got $6.99 super chat from Zazman Reviews. Thank you so much. Says, the funny thing about the DCU is the shows feel really connected. Lanterns will set up the big mystery of the DCU. The movies so far are standalone. So you're saying that you think the shows do a better job of connecting things in the DCU than the movies. Do you guys agree with that or no?
I mean, we've had 2 movies. I don't know. I don't really think... No, I wouldn't. Like, we've had 2 movies. One is a spinoff of the first movie. Like Supergirl shows up at the end of Superman, and then we get, Superman. And then next year we get Man of Tomorrow. So I have my issues with the DCU so far. I'm not loving it, if I'm being honest. But I think the one thing they're doing well is the like connectivity of everything. Like, which
is weird. The video that I reacted to today, I don't know if you saw it. It was like an hour-long video or whatever. But that was one of the things, was that the complaints is there is no like direction with the DCU, and I would disagree. I think that they know exactly what they're doing. You might not like what they're doing, but I think they know I think the plans are there, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you guys disagree with that? I think there's definitely a plan that they're doing.
100%. Yeah. Like, I think we're in a world where just because we don't know stuff means that like something's bad or something's not working. It's like, no, we need surprises, guys. Like, not everything we're going to know a year in advance. Like, again, say what you will, but like, we're 3 years in and we've already had like a trilogy of movies with Superman, Supergirl, Man of Tomorrow, which is a through line that most haven't had. And yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I'm not loving it so far, but like, we need to have it, like, give it a chance to like connect and do these stories and stuff.
What about you, Joe? Do you see connectivity? Do you think there's a plan? What do you think about the DCU?
I think the connectivity has been perfect so far. It is clearly connected. Like, you can't, there's no denying the connectivity. I mean, we've seen characters interact across all aspects. Frank Grillo's character being one of the key ones, because he's been on the animated series we had. He's been on the live action series we had. He's been in one of the movies we've had. We've had Guy Gardner showing up on the TV show and in the movie. There's been a lot of connectivity, but it has also been perfectly standalone.
Right.
I don't think anyone can complain about homework. You can walk into any one of these projects and just sit there and watch it. I think it's great. In fact, I was on a stream last weekend where I was talking about how happy I was, thrilled, that Supergirl did not have a post-credit scene. Because I am a firm believer that...
A lot of people were big mad about that, by the way.
Yeah, and I believe post-credit scenes, inadvertently, I think it was a fun thing when it started, but I think inadvertently it has hurt cinema, because it has trained people to not pay attention to what they have in front of them and to be more interested in the next thing. It's like you're ignoring your juicy steak because you just can't stop thinking about your cheesecake that you're going to get like for dessert,
I watched a video last week. It was one of the ones that was scheduled to go out when I was out of town, but it was Rob from Comics Explained, and he said that the DCU should be focused on just doing everything that Marvel has done, essentially just giving people what they expect. And I'm like, is that really what we want from the DCU? Like, do we want the DCU to just be another Marvel? Like I don't want that. I like the idea of them being a little bit different, you know? Also, we don't, and Joe, you've said this before many, many, many times. A lot of times the audience doesn't really know what they want until they get something. Like, you don't know, like a lot of great movies from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't ask for those movies to be made.
Right.
Like, no one said, hey, I want Jurassic Park. It came out and everybody loved it. Nobody said, I want Gremlins. It came out and people loved it. Like, these movies existed without people demanding them. So I think it's really weird that now the argument is that the audience should dictate, the art by committee should dictate what creative people do with these projects. I think that's a backwards way of doing it, in my opinion.
I'll tell you something else that's nonsense. You hear these people say, like, well, you shouldn't be doing that character. You shouldn't be doing this character or that character because the audience doesn't know that character. Mm. The audience doesn't know Clayface, so you shouldn't be doing Clayface. That is a nonsense argument. It's nonsense because what is like the most popular movie of the year this year?
Obsession.
Exactly. Did anyone know what Obsession was going into it?
No.
Right. Movies have to, whether it's an original movie or an IP, they both start off at the same place. They have to sell it to an audience. They have to sell it to an audience. So if you have a character the audience doesn't know that's an established IP, that's the same as not having an established IP. That doesn't mean you can't sell it. It means that you have to approach it as if it's like if you're trying to sell Superman or Batman, you got a leg up. The audience knows who that is. Mm-hmm. You're just promoting it like you're promoting an original property, and you don't have that leg up. That's the only difference.
Mm. Okay. Well, we got another super chat here from Zazman at $2.79 super chat, Canadian dollary dues. What character do you hope we get in the DCU MCU? Like somebody that we don't have right now? Oh, that's a good question. In the MCU, I would take pretty much any of the X-Men at this point, like any of those characters. I know they're coming and we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, but pretty much any of the X-Men. As far as the DCU, I've said for a while, the JSA, some characters from the JSA would be great. Pretty much any of those characters. I like all of the JSA in the DCU. So yeah, there we go.
I'd say Flash in the DCU just because I love the Flash. And I'll cheat with Marvel and say, give me Chloe Bennett as fucking Daisy Johnson. Yeah. Just bring her back.
By the way, I did hear from somebody who I kind of trust, who kind of, he's had his finger on the pulse in the past. I did hear that we are going to get our Flash on the Jimmy Olsen Grodd show.
Oh.
That's where he's going to be introduced.
Interesting. Well, by the way, hello, Jake. Welcome. Good to have you here. How are you doing?
Going pretty good. As soon as I popped in, I heard you say JSA. I'm like, damn it, I should have worn my shirt.
Yeah, we were talking about who we'd like to see in the DCU. Do you have any character you'd like to see pop up in the DCU? Or well, I mean, a JSA character, obviously.
I mean, apart from the obvious one, Oliver Queen, Dinah Lance. I'd love to see a proper adaptation of Wally.
Cecile.
Nope. And you know, I would actually like to see a proper because live action has failed to do this. Well, I think animation might be about to beat them to it. I'd like to see a proper adaptation of Bane because he's always been one of my favorites.
Okay. Going back to what Joe was saying, though, Flash possibly being introduced in that DC crime show with Olsen and Grodd. What do we think about that?
If that's the sole reason that the show exists, that's going to be dumb.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Grodd has fought the Flash before.
I mean, right, but having him paired up with Jimmy Olsen, like just for the sake of if again, just speculative, but if you're just using that as your engine to introduce Flash to just stretch it out over 6 to 8 episodes, that feels pointless.
Fair enough. Omega has jumped in. What's up, Omega?
Oh,
Ooh. Twice in
You
one
there?
day, buddy.
We can't hear you if you're speaking.
Oh,
You
my
might
day was
be-
muted this entire time. God damn
Oh.
it.
here I was thinking he was on the toilet.
Nah, we just got finished with D&D, so.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Were there dungeons in it?
Oh, actually, we just got out of prison.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go.
Hey, you know what? You're better than you know what? Never mind.
Oh no, let's not do it. Speaking of lanterns, there's apparently some sort of like, we don't know if it's a real spoiler or not. Have you guys heard this one?
The one about Hal? The one about Hal?
Yeah. I don't, obviously we don't know if it's real or not. But people are talking about it. And since we don't know if it's real, I don't think it's even a spoiler because who would know except for like a handful of people, right?
A lot more people would pretend to know.
Right. So there, by the way, guys, I'm going to talk about it briefly because we don't know if it's true or not. So just so you know. And I even talked about this when we watched the trailer back in, originally, and we talked about it many, many times, like what was going to happen with Hal and John in the situation. So the current 4chan / Reddit rumor is that Hal dies in episode 1, but we know that the show takes place between like over a 10-year gap. So even if that he dies present day in episode 1, he's still in the show because the show is going to cover 10 years of time. So it's not like we're not going to have him in the show. So the only issue it really causes is if that is true, then we're not going to see him anymore after the show because unless they do a prequel movie or a prequel TV show, right?
Man, ever since the Green Lantern movie flopped, DC has just not been kind to Hal Jordan. Like specifically, Hal and John have gotten really shafted. I mean, look what they did with them in Tomorrowverse, for example, as one of the most recent examples. They both got the shit end of the stick.
Well, first of all, do we think the rumor is true? Because there's no way to prove it, right? And we won't find out for another month. So,
I wouldn't bet on it.
It could be. Do I want it to be? No.
Right.
I don't know. I've had my issues with the idea of having like an older Hal Jordan anyway, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever. We can still have some good years with him. I feel like Green Lantern fans deserve better than to kill their like the number one Green Lantern.
As a hardcore Green Lantern fan, I say the less Hal Jordan, the better. But
oh, well, you got your favorite already. He's already in the DCU,
it's also
so.
just Hal's just a terrible person. He's just a terrible person. Let's not forget, Hal is. If the Epstein files existed in the DC universe, Hal Jordan would be in there. Let's not forget, Arisia was only 16 years old. He slept with Guy Gardner's girlfriend while Guy Gardner was in a coma. He's just not a good guy.
Wow. Okay. There we go.
Did not know this.
Yeah, the more you know. All right, so we're going to move on from that. I don't really know anywhere to go after that. So we got a $2 super chat from Cartoon49 says, thoughts on the new Digger trailer with Tom Cruise? I have it loaded up to watch. It's the real trailer. I know the last time we tried to watch it, it was just clips of Tom Cruise and other things. This is the actual Digger trailer. We're going to watch that tonight. We'll do that in the second hour. So I'll let you know then. But thank you, Cartoon49, for the $2 super chat.
Yeah, that was the same trailer that I got for Digger when I went and saw Supergirl. It was that same thing that they showed.
Okay.
That trailer also doubles as an in memoriam when Tom Cruise passes.
Oh, really? I have to see the trailer to understand what that means.
No,
but,
I mean the first one. It was just like a tribute
okay, yeah, the teaser trailer. Got you. Okay.
But I never got a chance to tell you the character I'm most looking forward to.
It's, Who is it?
Booster Gold. I mean, I know we're getting him, but Booster Gold is 100% the character I'm most excited for.
Let's do these super chats quickly, and then we'll jump back on that because I do have another question, something that Darren was saying that I want to follow up on with the DCU. Cartoon49 with the $2 super chat said, I also saw the Invite and Evil Dead Burn this week, and a thumbs up there for both of them.
Nice.
Did you see Evil Dead Burn yet, Jake?
I haven't.
I know it was on your list.
It is on my list. I haven't gotten to see it yet. I've been having to pinch stuff for Comic-Con next week. So
Oh, has anybody seen Evil Dead Burn yet? No.
you know Darren won't.
Heard of it till-
I don't like these new Evil Dead movies.
Oh, okay.
They take
Well,
themselves too seriously. They don't feel like Evil Dead.
That's
Oh.
unfortunate.
I don't
Uh,
get
That's
it.
kind of the whole point of
That's
Evil
fine.
Dead. It's like this. They know it's a silly ass movie. So
I mean, you got two versions of Evil Dead. One that either lean far into the horror or lean far into the camp.
Mm.
So
Cody here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I watched all of Evil Dead this weekend. I have yet to watch Burn. People are getting DMCA'd over this very thing, I believe, because Boba talked about it. DMCA'd over what? DMCA'd over the trailer for we watched the trailer like what, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
give or take.
I removed it though. It got claimed immediately. Who's DMCA'd over what? Be specific, please, Cody. I would like to know what you mean there. I didn't know that something happened with the Green Lantern spoiler. Gotcha. Well, I'm not going to bring up any pictures or whatever. So, but I think you're talking about people on social media because I saw a lot of accounts getting hit for that when I was looking for it. But thank you so much for that, Cody. Well, I'm not going to pull up any of the tweets or anything, so they can't DMCA me for just mentioning it. It's not my rumor, and I didn't put it in the title anywhere.
Well, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah. There's also, I'm looking over here now. There's an Alan Scott mystery, supposedly.
Well, that rumor was going around for about a year.
The one about Alan Scott being the murder mystery character.
They're investigating the murder of Alan Scott.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from so many people. Like I heard that before we even got a trailer. That was one of the things that people were talking about before the first trailer came out. I'm still looking forward to Lanterns, but again, I'm a little nervous about what it's going to ultimately end up being because I know, Joe, you have an issue with it being TVMA because you want to watch it with your family. So I get that. But Darren, you said something that before we move on to the DCU news that I have ready to pull up, you said you weren't really happy right now. Do you want to just kind of give a sort of explanation for that? Because I do sort of feel similarly to you in some ways, but I want to see what your thoughts are before I give my thoughts on it.
What, just the DCU as a whole?
Yeah. Like, how are you? Because you don't seem too enthusiastic about it. And I want to point out, I think that is kind of what affected Supergirl at the box office. So, go ahead.
It's interesting because I don't think anything's been bad, right? I think we live in a world where everything has to be like, I hate this or I love this, and I liked Superman. I didn't love Superman. I liked Peacemaker season 2. I didn't love it. I liked Creature Commandos. I thought Supergirl was okay, and I think they've all just been like, that was okay. And there just hasn't been a lot to keep me super invested. Like, it's not like the MCU where you like come out the gate with Iron Man, which I adore. The first Iron Man, I think that movie's great. It's not like Arrow where like season 1 and 2 of that had a fantastic start for that universe. There hasn't been a thing that makes me like, I love what they're doing right now. And I hope Lanterns changes that, and I hope Clayface changes that, and I think it might. I'm really looking forward to both of those. I think both of those could be really good. But like right now, I'm very just kind of like, all right, I'm waiting for something to like blow me away and like really get me attached to what this universe has to come. But obviously, like, no hate to anyone who, because I know a lot of people are loving it. I know there are a lot of people
You're not really finding like an anchor thing to keep you invested, is what you're saying.
It's just kind of like, we're doing stuff. And again, I think actually what came out today about Man of Tomorrow, I'm like, oh, that's very exciting. Okay,
that's the next topic we're going to talk about, which is why I wanted to pull this up.
Yeah.
So here's the news we got from today: is Blue Beetle is going to return to Superman Man of Tomorrow. And this is no longer, because I saw it kind of circulating earlier without like proper confirmation. And then it came out with all the trades, which means that they must have talked to someone that gave them like official confirmation of this.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about this? Like, what are our thoughts on this, this news?
Eric, what did I say a year ago when Man of Tomorrow was first announced?
Yeah.
I said this is a Justice League movie.
Right.
We have Superman, we have Supergirl, we have Green Lantern, we have Blue Beetle, we have Hawkgirl.
Mm-hmm.
This is while not
Actually,
technically
I have-
Justice League, it's like
Yeah.
it's like the
Okay.
Civil War equivalent to Justice.
I actually have a list. It's funny you
I-
mentioned that. I wrote down all of the ones that I can remember that were announced for this movie. So we have Superman, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Green Lantern, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner, Supergirl, Lobo, Peacemaker, Hawkgirl, Wonder Woman, Maxima, which I couldn't remember if that was confirmed or not, but I think
Still
it
up in the
was.
air. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Terrific, Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle, and a villain that we don't know yet.
Martian Manhunter was confirmed.
I think that's another
Rumored.
like a Maxima rumor, yeah. So those are the ones that were and even if you take Martian Manhunter and Maxima out, that's still a huge group of characters.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's been rumored too. Take that as you will. I mean, that's Justice League, man. Like that's like, and again, I don't think it's going to be like a Thunderbolts thing where it's like, oh, this
And
is
I don't
title.
even know if they're going to use the name Justice
No,
League. It might
no.
be like a proto Justice League, like it's a team up movie with all these heroes.
I think
Right.
it's going to be like Superman gets the idea for one based on this movie. Like
Mhm.
he's working with all these heroes. He's like, maybe I need to put something together like this. Like
It's-
maybe we need something
So-
more.
So what are they going to call him? The All Star Squadron?
It's Panic in the Sky. It's Panic in the Sky. Panic in the Sky was the storyline DC used to convince Superman he needed to join the Justice League.
Hmm.
Sure, I can see it.
Yeah, so I saw the news and I was pretty excited because to be honest, I know that people are kind of like lukewarm on this movie. I get
I
that some
love
people
this
don't
movie.
like it. I think barring a few of the rush things that happen in the third act of this film, it's a great movie,
It's very fun.
right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love this movie. And I know we're supposed to be getting like, a
Animated
cartoon.
series.
Yeah.
yeah. And so this tells me that at least, look, this is probably, I think, because of the DCEU and this supposedly being a streaming movie and then having to go to like the theaters and everything, this movie had a lot of rough things to overcome. And I said after I saw it, it's just a really fun movie. It's got a lot of heart. Obviously, you can see that they tried to punch it up a little bit for theaters. I didn't really like the villain of the movie.
It was doing its best to carry DC on its back in 2023.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I love the casting. Like the casting for this was perfect. And so
Agreed.
I love to see this. And we're going to get a slightly adult version now of Blue Beetle because he's older. I don't think they're going to play him like a kid. I think he's going to probably be aged up a little bit. It does sort of suck that he's not going to be able to go into like a Young Justice or Teen Titan situation, but it seems like they might be moving him up to like a Justice League role. Like he might be a character that just gets graduated to the Justice League because he
And-
exists there, you know?
And then maybe they carry over a version of Ted Cord from this movie that just joins the older folks.
Maybe, but also if you
I
have
really
Blue
hope we get
Beetle,
Ted Cord.
yeah. But if you have this version of Blue Beetle, you don't really need like a cyborg. You know what I mean? And I do believe that that's kind of what the situation is. They don't want to
Well-
go back to having a cyborg.
Well, then you could put Cyborg where he generally belongs on the Teen Titans.
Yes. 100%. Would we like that? Would we like to have like a younger cyborg introduced as a Teen Titan character?
Oh yeah, I mean, I really like what Ray brought to that role in the story they were telling. Especially Zach's version of the movie did so much more for his character that the other version just didn't. It was a very 10-man approach in the other version of the movie, and he didn't really get any other development past that. So, was it cool to see him in that version of Justice League? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think we need to see him with a version of the Teen Titans? Yeah, because the Titans show didn't have him because Doom Patrol did, and he was a good character on there sometimes, but
right.
Especially as the seasons went on, I'm like, all right, he's just dude. He's not Cyborg anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be open to it if they wanted to put him in like the big leagues. Like he's definitely hypothetically younger than all the other Justice League members. Like all the like like if we do Superman, we know Batman will probably be older, Wonder Woman probably be older, Supergirl.
Can you
Guess
pull up
not.
Chris's thing
I
right
don't know.
quick? Just so I can
Wasn't it
clarify
the New 52? Wasn't that
Yes.
when they switched him over?
Yes, that's when it started. And-
Yeah,
but
that would have been
that-
what 2010, 2011. No, 2011 was New 52.
I
right?
really liked that idea too. Like I thought that was great having him. Like it was like he graduated. Like you've earned your spot. You've worked your way up to the Justice League.
I like what the like animated movies did. I thought that was a fun idea that he was a Justice League member, but sometimes he got bored and would just like hang out with the like Teen Titans and like these guys are way more fun than the Justice League. I'm just gonna hang here and like eat pizza with like Beast Boy and stuff. Like I thought that was fun. So maybe you could maybe play with that if you really want to.
You know, maybe this is a hot take. We'll move on, but maybe it's a hot take here. But I don't necessarily like the idea of the Justice League being the X-Men, where they have a school and then you graduate and you become a member of the team. I kind of like the idea of like the Teen Titans maybe training these heroes, but not necessarily just pushing them in to the Justice League as their default thing. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have Cyborg on there. I'm absolutely okay with that. But I wouldn't like the idea of the Teen Titans just automatically. And I know in some iterations they've done this. The
You
Teen
mean like
Titans
Young
being an
Justice?
automatic. Yeah, like something along like Young Justice makes more sense because that feels like that's what that was supposed to be, right? But Teen Titans always felt like just a teenage superhero team that never really needed to be the Justice League, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But you know,
I'll tell you
we
this.
saw what they did with the TV version of Titans. So.
Can we not reference that, please?
I'll tell you this. I'm very excited
Reference what?
that we're getting Blue Beetle back because I mean we knew we were. James Gunn said that way early, but I really enjoyed that movie. That was my third favorite DC movie of 2023. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and I still want a resolution to that little stinger at the end where I want Ted back, and they teased us with Ted. So I want that. I want the payoff.
Yeah, I assume maybe that'll be a show thing with like the show coming. They have a lot more time to tell a story like that.
And they clearly want Jason Sudeikis as Ted. Like they've indicated. Like I mean, the painting, like it was clearly a picture of Jason. You think we'll get him as Ted? I hope so. I'd love to. I mean, he's already Ted Lasso, so he's used to playing Teds.
Ted Lasso comes back. Like I think it's
Couple weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's right around the corner.
Really,
Omega,
Yes?
Omega, you were saying something about Teen Titans.
No.
Did you want to?
No, I was just asking like, what was he saying? Like, not the reference because I was just going to be a troll and just reference it anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the fucking abomination that was Titans.
Oh.
I liked that show a lot, except for one thing.
The
Same
best episode of
I heard it
Titans
get
was
better
the
later.
Connor Kent episode. That is the best episode of that
Yeah.
entire show.
Probably.
I really enjoyed
And-
that show, except for the fact that it was again a mature audience's show. Why are you doing with that?
Or-
with Titans?
Or the fact that a character who can like jump through lightning and hold on to lightning, like Wonder Girl gets killed by lightning. That was
While they're doing the
Really
damn
stupid.
marketing for Wonder Woman 84 showing her riding on the lightning. Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty stupid.
Wow.
We got some super chats here, though, which, by the way, we hit the goal and reloaded. Thank you guys so much for that. We will.
Nice.
I'll put up the poll on there. You don't have to do it tonight.
The
We're
guys
on
know,
our way
stop
already. So.
supporting the channel. It's too strong. We can't contain it.
Steigerworth, the 499 super chat says, I feel the problem with certain DC movies that they include too many superhero characters at once. I've heard this criticism, obviously, with the first Superman movie in 2025 of the DCU, that people were saying there was too many characters. I had this conversation with some friends of mine. I do feel like we could have had a good Superman movie with just Superman and a couple of supporting characters, but that's not the movie we got. So I have to judge it based on what it is. I think they did a good job with balancing it, even though I don't love the movie that much. Like, it's not my favorite movie from DC. I still think they did a good job balancing the cast they had, but I understand the criticism.
You know what
I
story
don't-
they could have told that fleshed out the DC world a lot more without it feeling like a crowded movie? Anybody ever read Superman Up in the Sky, the miniseries Tom King did?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing, like, it takes him away from Earth. You know, like, he's put through this whole moral dilemma of trying to, like, essentially save this one, like, alien girl that's gone missing, but he's anxious about leaving Earth without a protector. and you get other parts of the world established there. Like you get, so a little bit of scenes between him and Batman in Gotham, between him and Barry in Central City, him and Hal, Diana's there. Like, I'm not saying do that verbatim, but just little bits and things like that, just to show that it's a lived-in world without making it feel like an overstuffed movie and still have the focus be on Superman. You could have easily done that.
I think that the criticism about having multiple superheroes in a Superman movie is absolutely ridiculous, quite frankly, because every single Superman movie ever made has had a supporting cast. In this case, the supporting cast were also superheroes. It was still Superman's movie. They were still supporting characters. It's no different than if Lois or Jimmy are your supporting cast. It just so happens this time the supporting cast were also superheroes. So it's really no more crowded than any other Superman movie, quite frankly.
I would say it's definitely more crowded than Man of Steel. Man of Steel really is kind of hyper focused on Clark
the
Kent
Man of
as
Steel.
Superman. Yeah. So I would say this movie is definitely more crowded than that. But I would also agree with you that I think, having a supporting cast isn't I think that criticism is weird because most movies still have a supporting cast, right? Like I get that. But I think a lot of people.
Some of them are definitely underserved.
Let me tell you why I think this criticism is so hard on this Superman movie in particular, is because of the fact that James Gunn is good at making group films, obviously with the Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy. He's good at balancing a lot of characters. A lot of people were criticizing, saying that is his crutch, is that he has to balance multiple characters. He can't just write a story about one character. And I think that's where this criticism about the DCU comes from, is that fact. Because if you look at everything James has done in the DCU, it's all team based. And even though the Superman movie is about Superman, there's still a team in the movie, which is the Justice Gang. So it does feel like he does lean on that a little bit. So I would say the criticism, I think, is more specific about James Gunn right now than it is supporting characters, in my opinion.
That critique's not without its merit. And, looking at everyone we know that's in Man of Tomorrow, again, not completely without merit.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to add to that before we move on?
I don't see how that's a bad thing, though. Playing to your strength isn't a weakness.
No, I don't think that was the case. Is that you say that's his strength, but I think what people were looking for is to see if he could do something else. I think that's been the criticism, is that he does a lot of the same stuff. That's all we heard about Supergirl before Supergirl came out, is that he's shadow directing it. It's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy with Supergirl. Like, that's the criticism he's had for a while. No, it wasn't. But I'm not saying that it's true. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm saying that a lot of people want to see James do something other than like this group concept. Now, I defended this, and the reason why I defended it is this is why he was hired, right? So DC gave him the job because of what he does well. So him going in and doing a Superman movie that has Superman as your main character and a really strong supporting group under Superman in the film is exactly why he got the position he got in the first place. So for me, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for him to go to DC and be like, all of a sudden now I'm going to switch it up and try something else. He did exactly what he was good at, simply because that's what he was hired for. Now, he might try something new down the road, like that we may see that. He's obviously not doing it with Man of Tomorrow, but he might do it with like another smaller movie or something along those lines. We don't know yet. We have no idea, because with what's happened with Supergirl, we're not sure what position James is going to take with movies in the future. Like, is he going to have to direct and write more DC movies now? Is that what they're going to ask him to do? Because Superman performed well enough for the studio, and if Man of Tomorrow does really well, he might end up directing one movie every year for DC. I don't know. It's also locks him into like doing only DC stuff. And people are saying that his contract renegotiations are going to start as early as next year. So
I think they need to personally do a better job of analyzing those scripts before they start filming.
Yeah, I could go on and on about Supergirl, but I have exhausted it. Like, the last 7 videos I made on my Reloaded channel were about Supergirl, and I've made like 5 or 6 of them on the Debunks channel. I just don't really have much else to add about Supergirl, to be honest.
I mean, it gets you views, right? You got to get views somehow.
No, it does, but I just don't think that I have said, like, we could talk about it 100%. I'm okay with that. But I've really said everything that I need to say about Supergirl, and I don't think there's a lot more to add at this point. It's kicking it when it's down. Like, it's not doing well in the box office, and we know that. Nobody's disputing that. And We'll see where it goes. I think the lesson they might learn from Supergirl, and this is what I've said about every video that I've talked about this on recently, is that they may not do a sequel to Supergirl. She might end up just being a character in other people's movies for a while, and that's because Supergirl is...
You mean like Blue Beetle?
Maybe. But I think Blue Beetle's a better movie than Supergirl. Opinion. But
right. But I mean, that movie didn't do good for the studio either. So like,
no. But it wasn't as expensive as Supergirl, though.
Yeah, I don't understand where the budget went for Supergirl.
You know, my wife and I, we've had this conversation about a dozen times over the last couple of weeks, but everyone keeps like harping on Supergirl's script, and we're like, what are people's problems with this script? That script was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I don't know. It's baffling to me.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about in the script. I think there's a lot of issues that I might have subjectively with the script that you might not have. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that I don't like, but that doesn't mean that they're like, I don't think that means there are fundamental problems with the script. It means that I personally have a problem with some of the things they did. Like, I think there's a lot of issues in that movie, and I know a lot of people try to explain them away, and that's fine. And like I said, I've exhausted all of that. But I do think that clearly something didn't work because it is not performing even moderately well. So something isn't working, whether it be word of mouth, whether it be people that went and saw it and said, I'm not going to go see it a second time. I'm not going to tell people to see it, whatever. Something didn't work. So, and again, the box office isn't a metric on quality. It just means that something isn't connecting with the casual audience. What that is, I don't know. And also, I think it's stupid for people to bring this up and not talk about the fact that the placement of Supergirl was probably the single dumbest thing they've ever done.
I
agree. Place it in July, which is the biggest summer movie month, July is. When you have August, when you have spring, when you have other places you could have put that movie out, you stuck it in between Minions and Toy Story. I just...
Oh, yeah.
You know what I think it was? I don't think they saw the threat in Toy Story. because I don't know if you remember this, but if you look back a couple months ago, Fandango did a poll, and they were like, "What is the most anticipated film of the summer?" And Toy Story 5 came in at number 1, and every news channel was running an article like, wow, people care about Toy Story 5, because like I think there was this perception that people were done with Toy Story. Like this is a cash grab. Why are they doing this? I think there was this perception until that Fandango poll came out, and suddenly it was like people were jolted awake and went like, "Oh, holy crap! People actually care about this movie."
And Darren, you were going to say, I don't want to talk about
we live in such a small corner of the actual audience that sees these movies. These I've said it over and over again, but these animated Disney sequels tap into an audience that we just don't see typically with a lot of these movies. These families go in swarms because you are tapping into, hey, my child saw this trailer and they really want to see this animated movie. And then you also tap into like, well, I grew up on this movie and I remember watching this with my parents, and like, it's just people, they love these, they love them. And Toy Story is like arguably one of the biggest IPs that Disney has. So we can be like, oh, well, I said, farewell, but like a lot of people didn't, and like a lot of people want their kids to have that experience that they had. So
there's also a weird revisionist history with Toy Story 2, because Toy Story 4 came out a couple years ago, was really well liked, really well received, made a ton of money, got high critic scores, got high audience scores, really well liked movie. And somehow, and I've talked about this kind of revisionist history that we see a lot on the internet, somehow the internet is now acting like that movie was not liked, like that movie was frowned upon. Toy Story 4.
Right.
It just was not the case. That movie, in fact, I think it has a higher tomato meter rating than
it does.
5 even.
5 has the lowest of all of them, but it's still in the 90s.
Right. Like there's no scenario where Toy Story 4 wasn't a financial hit and well liked by the critics and well liked by the audience. Like that movie was beloved when it came out. And somehow the internet over the last couple of years has created this revisionist narrative that, well, nobody liked Toy Story 4. It's like, that's not true. But there's a perception out there that that's true.
Yeah.
It's
It was
weird.
weird because like I think like critically and audience like they loved it, but there was a corner of the internet when the movie came out that despised it. There's like a what is it, like a 6-hour review on YouTube that it has like millions upon millions of views about how they despise Toy Story 4 and how it's the worst movie ever made. Like
Wow.
people, like there are people that hate Toy Story 4. I think that's ridiculous.
And
I think
I knew one guy back then when it came out. I knew one guy who kept complaining about it and calling it a cash grab. But guess what? It's not that those people weren't out there, but they were like a flaccid penis. They had no impact here. Like it did nothing to the box office. It did nothing to the reviews.
Everyone who was complaining it was a cash grab still gave it money just so they could say it was a cash
But
grab.
I also want to point out, outside of all of that, Toy Story 5 is a good fucking movie. Like, it's a good movie.
Yes.
Like, there's a scene in that movie, and literally I went with like a bunch of family members that some of them hadn't seen Toy Story since like 2 or 3. And so they're sitting there. There's one moment in that movie, and I'm pretty sure anyone in this panel that has seen it, right, where everyone started crying.
Yeah.
Right? There's one moment in that film, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because if you haven't seen it, I recommend going. Like, if you're a fan of Toy Story and you just weren't, you're like, I'm done with it, I recommend going to see Toy Story 5. I think it's a great fucking movie. But there's this moment in the movie where everybody starts crying. And I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, this is what, you know, these movies, this is why people come out and see these things. Because they're looking for this. They're looking for that emotional connection. Also, before we move on to the next super chat, there's a lot of things going on right now with families and the way they're spending money. And there's this thing where it's like, one movie a month. Basically, they're picking one movie they're going out with, because it costs, like, if you're a family of 4, a family of 5, you're spending $100 base just to go to the movies at any regular theater with a family that size, unless you've got one of the discount programs. But a lot of people don't. They don't know about it, or they don't want to use it, whatever it is. Because I know, Joe, you've said that like there's much cheaper ways to go to the movies, and I agree with you. But I think the average family just doesn't have access to that, right? They don't do it. So we're talking about people that are spending $100 to go out to movies. They're only going to pick 1, maybe 2 movies a month, if that, to go see. Toy Story was going to be number 1 for them no matter what. And then they had to choose between Supergirl or Minions or something else, because most people are going to go see Spider-Man. We're going to talk about the numbers for Spider-Man, which are crazy. We're going to talk about that in a minute. They're going to go see Spider-Man, right? Toy Story was always going to be their first choice. That means Supergirl was either second or third, and if it came in third, you're fucked, pretty much.
And like I think we're in this era now, and I don't know if you've talked about the like Moana box office of it all.
We're gonna talk about that. I've got the article ready to pull up. But...
Oh boy!
I'll just say though, like I think people are looking for original experiences. I think they're looking for an experience they haven't had before, which is why I think Obsession is doing so well, which is why Backrooms is doing so well. Even like Toy Story 5, well, that's a franchise. It's a story that hasn't been told before. They're doing something new, doing something fresh. I think this is why Spider-Man's tracking well, because it's a kind of Spider-Man movie we haven't really seen before.
They're making it very clear that this is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in the MCU, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for. So...
And I think Supergirl didn't fall into that. Like Supergirl, as someone who doesn't hate Supergirl, it is sort of like other comic book movies we've seen before. Like, it doesn't like reinvent the wheel at all, which it doesn't always have to. But safe. Like, it's very safe. Like, Moana kind of falls into that same thing. Minions kind of falls into that same thing. Well, I think that's doing well. I think it's pretty easily the lowest like.
I looked it up. It is still performing at expectations for that movie because it was such a low budget, but it's not performing at the level of previous
previously movies. They've done like billions, like they're cash grabs. It
was up against Toy Story. That's the other thing, is like Minions, like even though Supergirl is not a direct competitor with Toy Story, Minions is 100% a direct competitor for Toy Story. So putting those movies out within 2 weeks of each other was like ridiculous in my opinion. Also, the fact that Supergirl was smack dab in the middle of 2 overlapping competing types of films was just
stand a chance.
No, it didn't. Like, a best case scenario was the movie was going to just break even. That was the best case scenario, and they couldn't even manage to do that. All right, we're going to move on. We got a super chat from Lone Wolf, and this is based on a rumor that I saw today. We don't know for sure unless it's actually been confirmed since I saw it earlier.
Nope.
But it's a $10 super chat from Lone Wolf. It says, if Adam Driver does play Magneto, I'm intrigued. I saw Boba discuss this in his video today. I also saw Boba and Nando talk about Scarlet as Ivy rumor might not be true, but thoughts on it if true. So we'll talk about both those. We'll talk about the second one first because I think that one's even less likely in my opinion.
Yep.
But I mean, maybe I like Scarlet, so I don't really have an issue with this, but I don't know if this one seems less likely to me.
The main person that's spewing that is someone you don't want to put a lot of stock in.
Oh, wait, who is it? Who is it? Do you know who it is?
Fucking N. Snyder.
Oh, okay. All right.
Eric,
Well,
we are now re-entering an era. I don't know if you remember 3 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago at this point. Every single week, we had a new rumor about a new Mr. Fantastic, a new Invisible Woman. We are now entering the X-Men equivalent to that. Every week, we're going to get a new Scott Summers, a new Jean Grey, a new Beast, a new... Are any of them real? Probably not. But we're going to talk about them anyway.
All right, so we'll go down the line on this one, right? I'll start and then we'll go down the line, and you can chime in if you want. Scarlet as Ivy, I'm fine. Like, I don't have an issue with it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Adam Driver as Magneto does work for me. I think that's an absolutely fine casting. I like Adam Driver. I think him playing Magneto at his age means that he's going to be in it for the long haul. Like, he'll be playing it for as long as some of these other Marvel actors have been playing it. I believe so, right? Hold on, let me find out. I want to find out for sure.
What is it?
Yeah, I did, because I saw a bunch of TikToks earlier today, basically kind of hinting towards him playing the Magneto. So I was like, oh, so that's actually real. So that all those TikToks I saw actually
he's 42, so he's still relatively like if they wanted to do Magneto getting older, because we know Magneto's been portrayed as young and old. He's definitely old enough to do that.
That's younger than Ian was when he started playing the character, and he's done it for 20
was like
years.
what, 60s?
It was like late 50s, I think.
Yeah. Again, very impressive. He did it for 26 more years after that.
I mean,
Adam Driver's a fantastic actor. I mean, I think he's great in the role.
I mean, in fairness, Ian did take a 12-year break.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that
but he's
one?
yeah.
No, what was that one movie where Adam Driver was playing that insane racist?
Well, I was about to say Marriage Story.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
No, because the TikTok I saw was like, yeah, this guy's playing Magneto, and it's him just saying a whole bunch of just.
Oh well, let me see what the movie is. Hold on, I'll look it up.
Wait,
I don't remember the title of that.
I think it's the
Omega. Omega, are you sure you weren't looking at one of Claremont's Kitty Pryde videos?
Oh no! Oh, I don't know the movie. It was just him.
The Black Klansman? Is that it?
I think so. I don't
Someone said it in chat.
He was in.
Is he in that?
No, I just saw a TikTok of that.
Yeah, he is. It's from 2018. He plays the detective. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was just that scene. A few of him just saying a bunch of slurs at somebody. He was like, "Yeah, this guy's."
It's funny because I think that movie came out right after Last Jedi. I think it was like the very next year or something like that.
Next year.
So anybody else want to chime in? Adam Driver is Magneto, yay, nay?
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I mean, he's Jewish, right?
He is Jewish.
Adam Driver, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, he can always dye his hair white if need be. So yeah, it works.
Yeah. Jake gave a thumbs down. You're not feeling Adam Driver as Magneto?
Personally, no. I think he's a good actor. I don't feel Magneto from him. If anything, if you're gonna have him play any X-Men villain, I think there's a better candidate.
Who would you rather see him play?
If you're going to have him play any X-Men villain, I think he'd be better suited for Sinister.
I've said Sinister too.
Okay.
I need to see him with white hair. Dye his hair white.
He's not my first choice for Magneto, but I mean, it's like
I think they're trying to go for the slightly younger sex symbol Magneto with the long white hair that he tucks behind his ears. I think
he's not my first choice, but you can do much worse.
I would rather them just go with unknowns.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the major characters are going to be cast as unknowns, unfortunately. I think they're all going to be like somewhat known actors.
I also didn't love Pedro as Reed, and then they did it, and then I was like, all right, like, say what you want about the MCU, but they've had a near perfect casting career. They have an unbeatable track record in terms of their castings. So I'm kind of willing to just be like,
Oh,
all right, you obviously see something that I don't. And I'm not saying that's what this is. I have a feeling this is probably not true. We're probably not going to see these castings for a while still. But hypothetically, if this is who they want, I'd be like, all right, I'm willing to see you out, although I'm not sold yet. It's kind of my headspace.
Yeah, I concur.
All right, Joe, what about you?
Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on this.
Do you like Adam Driver as an actor?
He's all right. Yeah, I think he's overrated. I mean, people really seem to like him a lot, and I think he's good, but you know, he doesn't change my world in any way.
For me, being a huge X-Men fan, we already had the perfect casting for Magneto, but too bad he was wasted on those garbage movies.
I was gonna say, I love Ian, right? But I prefer Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was gonna say, I'd argue we had two great castings from Magneto that were wasted.
Yeah, and I mean, good luck to whoever takes on this next Magneto, because they, as of recently, have upped the bar. It's
gonna be look based on, because in a few hours we get the next episode, right? And I know that with X-Men 97 they have absolutely killed Magneto in a good way, like not
really?
in a bad way, right? But
yeah,
they have been
not
killing,
in a literal way.
They have been killing it. They've been killing it with it's a week old. I don't care. They've been killing it with Magneto on X-Men 97. Killing it, not killing him. Okay, I'm saying it's killing it with Magneto on X-Men 97. And unless you're going to have him at that level, it's really hard.
Just caught it.
You're gonna have
Omega.
It was subtle. I'm surprised it took you that long to get it. Unless you're gonna have him at that level, don't even bother. Because his speech in season 1 and then the way he's been portrayed since season 1 of X-Men 97 is like
let you down.
Yeah.
Most nations wouldn't allow a terrorist to be their leader, yet they allow their leaders to be terrorists.
Exactly. Fuck yeah. All right, thank you for the super chat for that, Lone Wolf. We got a $5 super chat from Naruto. I saw the other day DC did something stupid. Batman Cape Crusader season 2 comes out the same day. Yeah, I did see that too. Comes out the same day as Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Why is that stupid?
I don't think it really. I don't look. Yeah, I would like to think it's not going to matter, but of course people are going to put them up against each other because that's just the way it is.
You know what else comes out that week?
What?
The Avatar movie too.
That's right.
Yeah. 25th.
You know what else comes out that week?
Oh God, what else?
Supergirl on digital.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That was driving me crazy. I wanted to tell you about this, but you were away. I saw some jackwagon on YouTube. I don't remember who it was. No, it wasn't even on YouTube. It was an article. I read this article.
I'm just laughing at jackwagon. I haven't heard that in ages. So
yeah, but no, this jackwagon writes that Supergirl can't do well on PVOD because it's coming out the same weekend as Spider-Man. So therefore, everyone's going to be seeing Spider-Man, and they're not going to be home to rent movies. And I'm like, did you strain yourself stretching for that one? Because like that has literally never been the case, that people don't watch television if a movie comes out.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, is it the whole season though? Are they dropping it as a whole season, or is it weekly?
Whole season.
Again? Isn't it a Prime show?
Yeah.
Doesn't Prime typically do their second seasons as weekly releases? The first season is the binge season?
Yeah.
Here's my prediction. I think because it's a episodic show, I think maybe they don't see the... I would still like it if it was a weekly show, but I think they're like, since like every episode is kind of their own thing, let's just, put it out as one thing or whatever. But I don't know.
Thank you for the super chat, Naruto. We got a $1 super chat from Cameron. Cameron has been saying that he's sending me stuff on Discord, and I think that's his reminder here. Thank you for the super chat, and yes, I'm going to look at that in 1 second.
Amazon should really be trying to learn from Marvel's success, because imagine if they just released all the X-Men episodes at once. People would be talking about it in 2 weeks max, but by stretching it out, they're carrying the conversation. The next super chat is sort of about this, and I know Jake loves it, so we're going to talk about it. All right, here's the deal. It's been a while since we talked about this, and we're going to look at the super chats here because we've got the next one in my list is about this.
So this doesn't look good for the merger. Let me tell you why, because I've done a little digging about this today.
Digging.
So David Zaslav, yes, digging. David Zaslav is selling more of his Warner Brother Discovery shares. Now, the reason why this it shows very little confidence that the merger's either. So, hold on, let me back up a little bit. Right now, the merger has been paused again because there are two more massive lawsuits against it. One of them is being held by 11 different states suing because of this reason. And there's still the pending lawsuits with the Writers Guild, the Directors Guild, all of that. So there's two massive lawsuits that are holding this up. Right now, best math that I could come up with is the merger, even if it runs through all of the hoops it needs to get through and they don't block them from anything, we're talking like well into 2027, like spring, summer of 2027 before any of this gets done. Best case scenario is the lawsuits get dropped and they kind of get it done by the end of the year, but it's going to be a while. Now, I think it was Joe that said they have to pay them X amount a month. Which month does that start? In October?
If it goes past October, they have to pay like something like $7 million per month that it goes over.
Okay. So the reason why this is it's a pretty big deal. Okay. We're not going to read the boring article. I would read through it, but it's a lot of boring stuff. I'll just tell you this. I've already read it. I've already looked this up. David Zaslav is showing low confidence that this is going to happen because he's selling his shares now while they're high, because he believes that they're going to get locked out of being able to complete this at a timely manner, and it's going to cause the shares to depreciate in value, and money and the value of those shares is going to go down, which means that the courts will probably make them adjust their offer, or they'll have them like change regulatory things within the company so that they can make sure that the thing goes through without a quote unquote, what was the term they used? Like, I don't remember what it is, but it's about like job loss with actors and people in Hollywood and stuff like that. They don't want that to happen. Now, Paramount says by holding this up, it is affecting jobs in Hollywood. And it is because Warner Brothers doesn't want to do anything until this acquisition actually happens, which is why we're seeing slowdowns on everything they're doing. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is if you don't want this to happen, if you think that this is a bad idea, right now we're sitting at around a 25 or 30% chance that it's not going to happen at all. And the longer these lawsuits drag on, the bigger that percentage is going to get. And David Zaslav selling his shares shows that the actual head of Warner Brothers has low confidence in this actually happening on a timely manner or at an extreme at all. That's where we're at with this. And the reason why I brought it up is because Stagger here with the $4.99 super chat says, do you think the Warner Brothers Paramount merger has a chance of being blocked by the state lawsuit? I don't know if it's going to be blocked completely, but they certainly can make it very difficult. Now, here's the crazy thing when it comes to politics in the United States, everybody's favorite topic. We have our midterms coming up. If for some reason, and it looks like it's very likely, the House gets controlled by Democrats, they will make it very difficult for this merger to happen, which will drag it on even further, possibly for 2 more years. 2 more years they could do this. And because of the fact that now the merger will definitely not happen in time to affect the midterm elections, Trump's administration has less desire to push through any sort of legislation to make it happen, because now the value of that merger has dropped for them because Trump's not running for re-election in 2028. So he doesn't give a fuck. So
hopefully.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't think he would run. I think if he's going to,
has someone told him that?
I've said this before. So here's the, do you want my political expertise here? Is that what you want? If he were going to run, he would have to start actually campaigning now. Like he would be working towards campaigning now. There's absolutely zero sign that he's consolidating people to start campaigning. So the likelihood of him running is pretty much like in the teens at this point, because he knows that there's too many legal hurdles you have to jump through, and he's not making any moves to do anything with that. He's really just trying to fuck with the actual election process.
But that's out of context, Eric.
What do you mean?
I'm joking.
Oh, right. if Trump wanted to stay in power, it wouldn't be through elections. He would just stay in office. That's how he would do it. He knows his fucking ratings are in the toilet. Even if he tried to rig elections right now, he's like in the teens in popularity. He's not going to win an election in 2028. Not even if he tries to rig it. There's no way. So the thing about it is that it's just not going to happen. So we got 2 years now for them to try and make this happen. The value is lost for MAGA, for the admin. So the chance of that happening is very slim. So right now they're fighting an uphill battle, and it's becoming increasingly more difficult. Now, let's do one step further here. If Democrats take control of the Senate, that's it. It is game over. This merger will get picked apart entirely because Trump will no longer be able to get anything passed through to his desk about this because of the fact that his administration would have to go through the House and the Senate. And it's not going to happen. So yes, the longer this drags on, the worse it is for them. And we still have the UK legislation about this as well. So there's a lot of things happening. The point is, thank you for the super chat, Staggervore. The point is that this here is a good sign if you don't want Warner Brothers to be owned by Paramount. This is a really good sign. So there you have it. That's our most recent update on the Warner Brothers Paramount merger.
Did you hear about the crybaby tantrum that David Ellison's throwing about this?
Which one?
Where
he actually went to the White House or whatever and tried to talk to them about it.
He's threatening the state of California. He said, if you guys sue over this, I'm going to take Paramount out of California.
Well, have fun.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. The amount of money it would take to move that studio out of California is so astronomical, and they're going to be over $110 billion in debt.
You
talk
talk about a waste of damn time.
Yeah.
The article I read too said that Paramount just bought a lot of land in Bayonne, New Jersey. So right. Good luck getting the big stars to go to Bayonne, New Jersey.
Also, if you're buying Warner Brothers, what are you going to do? Take all of the Warner Brothers stuff you just purchased and move it out of California? That doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So good luck with that.
It's a tantrum. It's a temper tantrum.
Yeah. You're going to be the amount of debt that Paramount has is the largest debt that a studio has ever held in a purchase. So good luck with that. Your credit rating has already been downgraded. So there we go. We got Cody here with the $5 super chat. Another thing is outside of the show and the Flash, they've not done anything with her in 40 years. So that was so far back. It was like 20 minutes ago.
Who?
Cody, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Supergirl? I think we're talking about Supergirl, about the fact that Supergirl's relevancy hasn't been high. Like she was in the movie back in the 80s. Yeah.
She just had a TV show that lasted for 6 years.
I think that's what they're talking about, though. The show and the Flash movie.
Yeah. So this is a hot take. I did really enjoy Sasha as Supergirl in the Flash movie, and I would have loved to have seen more of her as Supergirl. But I understand that it
scrapped.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it doesn't make sense from the context of like bringing things over. But look, here's the argument people are going to make, and this is one of the things that I've talked about before, is if you're going to bring in characters like Blue Beetle and other characters from the previous DCEU, then you have no excuse for not being able to bring over characters that were there before. So as much as I love to see Blue Beetle coming back, you could have brought Sasha back, you could have brought Ezra back.
I think Blue Beetle is the one expectation. I think he's the one, because when the movie came out, they never said. They were very clear when that movie came out, hey, we're making sure this isn't set inside the DCU. Could it be? Sure. It could also be set inside the DCU. It can also be set on its own completely. I feel like he's the one I was always kind of like, yeah, that's fine.
Did you mean to say exception?
Yes, Jake, I meant exception.
I agree that they
I was confused. I was like, what? Sorry.
I agree that they easily could have brought Sasha back, and I would disagree with you that it wouldn't make sense. I think it makes perfect sense. Her Supergirl was clearly introduced in a different timeline, so it's just it's a variant from a different timeline. Like that's in the movie. But after I saw where they were going with Supergirl, like when she made her appearance in Superman, I think this is such a different version of Supergirl. I don't think Sasha would have worked.
No. She wouldn't have worked. That's what were you talking about me when I said it wouldn't make sense? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like you said something like, forgive me, I'm forgetting exactly the way you
No, I was saying it wouldn't make sense in the sense that her Supergirl doesn't really work. Her Supergirl is more connected to Henry Cavill's Superman than it is David Cornsweat's Superman.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying I don't think it would work.
Well, that's the thing. I think her Supergirl could have just as easily been connected to David Cornsweat's. But
How when everything is from Man of Steel?
I mean, she'd be wearing a different costume. Like she wouldn't be wearing a Man of Steel costume if
We
she was
also
in
never saw Kara and Clark interact.
Yeah. I mean, that movie made it very clear that was an alternate timeline. So
you could. I think also though, like they probably cast Millie to probably have chemistry tests with David and like their dynamic together, which I think is very apparent because I think unfortunately, the best thing about Supergirl is David and her together. Like they have fantastic chemistry. They're great together. And yeah, like I think they casted for the version that they needed for this movie and like for this universe. Like they wanted to adapt Woman of Tomorrow, which obviously not a great adaptation of that comic, but still they cast for that story that they were trying to tell.
Anybody else want to chime in on that at all before we do the next super chat?
I would disagree with not a great adaptation. I thought that it was actually maybe better than the comic, but
it was a terrible adaptation of the comic.
I thought it was great. Because I always said the comic wouldn't have worked as a movie. Like I think the little changes they made actually made it more palatable. But
well, that movie does not service the visually pleasing art of the book in the slightest. And
I would disagree there too because I hated the art in that book.
But, better than looking like just boring space like this movie did. Hell, if this movie was going to borrow anything from Guardians criticism, I would have thought, hey, maybe at least it'll look, vibrant and colorful like the book did. It did not.
Yeah, I love the art in the comic, and I know that's again subjectively, it's a subjective take. But I do think the movie was a little dreary looking. Like I don't think it had to be as bright as the comic. It was very like desaturated.
And also, I know it takes place from Ruthie's perspective, but I think that kind of came as a detriment in the action scenes because I had a hard time finding Kara.
I've heard that criticism as well. Yeah,
because it was focused on Ruthie watching it instead of Supergirl actually fighting.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. We got a super chat from Silhouette Animator. Good to see you. $5 super chat. I still have my old Toy Story computer games from childhood. Toy Story 2 for PC was my favorite. It was open world one where you play as Buzz. Does anybody remember that? I don't remember that at all.
I was not in that age group.
I mean, they've got. I played Toy Story 2 on the N64. If that's a version of the same game they're talking about, even the first one on Super Nintendo, I played a lot.
Do we know if that's one of them that's getting transferred in October?
What, the Toy Story 2 game? Yeah,
no,
it is.
The one that they're talking about here.
So it's the same Toy Story 2 game.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Yeah, it's being transferred. It's
I'm
one.
excited.
I think it's the platformer from 1, the 3D one from 2, and then 3, which was quite a big step up for them in the gaming department.
And then, weirdly enough, a Bug's Life game in there for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really get that one.
Before we move on to the next few super chats and then our next topic, we have our poll up now. We have reached our goal in the Reloaded chat. We're still 3 away in debunks, but we did reach it in Reloaded. So thank you guys.
Didn't we already do one of these? Because it looks familiar.
They've been on the list before, but we haven't done them. They've never won.
I thought we did MCU supporting characters a while back.
We did a version of that, but I think it was specifically for like TV shows or something. It wasn't like for the whole thing.
All right.
I have to look back, but I'm pretty sure.
I thought,
but either way,
both. But I mean,
there's always new answers that we can do.
Well, I was going to say that we have new people too that weren't here, so I'm not too worried about that.
Plus some new stuff coming since then.
Right. Like there's newer projects. Yeah. So here are your options. 1 is fave MCU supporting characters, and this goes across anything MCU. So it doesn't matter if it's animated, live action, TV, movie, whatever. MCU villains who should return. And fave movies from the 70s is the next one, or favorite actors from the 80s. Those are the options.
Ooh,
and
interesting.
Let's see.
That's your age, right? Omega?
Wait.
That's Eric's. That's Eric's age.
Oh,
I was about 10 years later.
Wait, so you mean you weren't watching Batman 66 as it was coming out?
Actually,
No,
that
I
is
saw
mine
the
and
rerun.
Joe's age. Like we watched stuff back then.
No, that's been a running joke
Times.
for a while.
But the funny thing is, a lot of the movies in the 70s were the foundation for things that we have now. So a lot of those came out at the tail end of the 70s. So there's that. All right, so guys, continue to vote on that. Even when it's not on screen, I believe it counts, but you can try. Silhouette Anime with the $5 super chat. Atari's website will be selling the Toy Story games, all the classics up to Toy Story 3 game, physically to disc and all.
Yeah, take
Shout out to that.
I'm excited for that.
I miss my Atari. I might go and play some Atari games later. Do they have emulators for the? Well, I probably shouldn't.
Oh
say
yeah,
that
they got
on
plenty
here.
of emulators.
Here,
Dude, they got PlayStation 3. They got PlayStation 5 emulators. Bro.
Here, Eric, I'll link you a site for all of that in the private chat.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, I still
Don't
got
put it in the public chat. We're not giving this out publicly, YouTube.
I'm calling
okay?
the police.
Don't worry.
Goddammit.
Don't worry. So
Breaking
thank
the
you.
law.
So anything you need for that, Eric, anything you need for that, you can find it here.
Okay. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
got that book.
Silhouette Anime with the $2 super chat. Xavier will want Apocalypse dead forever. I bet. Oh, you're
Oh,
talking
I
about.
gave it to you. I gave it to you too, didn't I, Omega?
Yeah.
So,
I got a bookmark.
We're talking about X-Men 97. We know what's coming. If you are paying attention,
If
you
read
know
comics,
what's about to happen. You know what's about to happen.
You have a brain.
yeah.
For sure, 100%.
I don't even read comics in. I know what's coming.
$5 super chat from Silhouette Animator. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone remembers, but Kevin Feige admitted years ago that Marvel Studios cooks up fake rumors to leak out to random outlets to hide
Oh, yeah.
spoilers. Well, we know that a lot of people, like even Tom and Mark Ruffalo and people, have come out and said stuff that's contradictory because of that reason. They made trailers with fake stuff in it. Remember
Oh yeah.
Remember seeing the Hulk running through the jungle
Yep.
in Infinity War? That never happened.
Yep.
Yeah, he
You
was
remember
not
it? You remember when you saw the No Way Home trailer and Lizard got kicked by air?
Yeah. Yeah. Joe's jumping out of here. He's got to work in the morning, but thank you, Joe, for hanging out. Appreciate it.
All right,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Catch you later.
Check out Crazy Joe Adventures and Crazy Joe's Concession Stand.
Oh yeah, tomorrow on Crazy Joe Adventures, Blob Fest was this past weekend. Blob Fest in Phoenixville, and I already uploaded one Blob Fest video, the famous run out where they recreate the running out of the theater. But my second Blob Fest video goes live tomorrow at 9 a.m.
All right. Check it out, everybody. And thank you for hanging out, Joe.
See you, buddy.
See you
Have a
later.
good night.
All right. So here we go. That's all the super chats for now. We will jump into more super chats if you guys want to drop some. We'll do that after the next topic, which is going to be the controversial flopping of Moana live action.
Show of hands, who saw this coming?
Well, I'll be honest. In the beginning, I did not. In the beginning, I was like, Moana is a popular property, but this article talks a bit about.
I feel like as soon as they announced that third one, it took any incentive away from seeing this.
Yeah.
I've never been so
Well,
wrong.
Moana's like what, 10 years old? It's not enough to.
There's no nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like
Because, like, what, the people who saw it when they were 8 are what, 18 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like The Last of Us. It's why there's so many fucking remakes of that game. It hasn't even been out for that long.
And the
I
first one sucked.
I think
I love the first one. It was just the second one. The storyline was so pretentious.
No, the first remake of The Last of Us.
The first
was
remake,
terrible.
yeah, it had no business being made.
Yeah.
I feel like
So
this
we're
might
not. Yeah,
be-
go ahead, Darren. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it might be a different conversation if Moana 2 literally didn't come out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
you
you're
know,
right.
like they all just said, like, these movies exist and thrive because there's a want to see these characters that we grew up on. Like Aladdin, Lion King, these movies made $1 billion. People are like, oh, I grew up on this. I want to take my kids to go see this.
Mhm.
Moana doesn't have that. And I think, like Jake said, what sealed the deal for me, at least for not seeing this, because I'm not seeing this movie. I'm not planning on seeing this movie. They announced a third movie. And so why in hell would I see a carbon copy movie of a movie
Mm.
I love that first movie, a worser version of that when I could just wait 2 years and see this upcoming one.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
you've never really had Disney go the route of releasing a live action remake of a franchise that is still ongoing. Like
Yeah.
they've never really
Well,
done that.
in this article, we'll read this. I'm going to read the bullet points I have over here. So the film opened to 43 million domestically, 95 million globally, with a massive $250 million production budget.
How much of
And
that went to The Rock?
a lot, probably, because
Yeah.
the hierarchy of paying people has changed.
You know,
Apparently-
the Disney
apparently-
universe.
The hierarchy hasn't changed.
Yeah. So,
that
and they
makes
talk
sense.
about in this article about the marketing campaign. I never like to use that because marketing is a rule of thumb number. It's bro math. I don't like bro math, so we'll ignore the marketing campaign.
Nope.
And we don't know what that is. Okay, so production, the projected losses here is based on a few things. Theaters keep roughly half the ticket sales. So, based on bro math in this article, they need 600 million globally to break even. Now, in a normal world with Disney, that would be an easy number for them to reach with something like Moana because of, and I think the next Moana movie will probably break 600
Yeah, like
million pretty easily.
the next main
Um,
installment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is now currently tracking similarly to the 2025 box office numbers of Snow White, which only made 205 million globally. So this would be like $100 million loss in a theatrical box office run for Disney, based on what the article says. Now, the reason why it's struggling, according to Rebecca, who wrote this article, is that analysts are talking about the oversaturation of Moana currently and so many other properties in the box office that fit the same
Yeah.
niche. We talked about Minions, we talked about Toy Story. For Disney to drop Toy Story 5 and then Moana within 3 weeks of each other is,
Bad move.
I don't know what they were thinking with that.
Yeah. That's
Also,
dumb.
the 2016 film is, you can stream it for free on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah.
Moana 2 is on Disney Plus right now. So there's no point in going to see this movie. There's no reason. Parents are going to go, why am I spending money on a movie that is just a live action version of something we can watch for free that's
Already
probably
seen, yeah.
better than the live action version?
Yeah.
Yeah, word for word, bar for bar. It's the same damn movie, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently they
There's-
reused the same script.
Like and there's nothing in the marketing either. Like there's no things that are like, oh, I want to see what they're like there's no real anticipation to want to sit down and watch this movie. And again, like, you know, I hear kids love it and that's fine. And like I'm not going to like disagree with like anyone who liked the movie. That's fine. But again, very similar to like How to Train Your Dragon, it probably is good. Because
And it
they
sucks
made-
because I've
again,
but I've heard the lead actress is really good in the role. So
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that she's stuck in a movie that's just not doing well because this could have been really big for her. It's just another rock movie to him, but this is something that could have been really big for her. Now, this article did talk about the golden window. Now, this is something interesting that I hadn't heard before. So 27 years is the golden window. So on average, Disney's most successful remakes, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and Aladdin, waited at least 27 years before their live action versions came out. This allowed children of the original generation
Sure.
to grow up and then bring their kids to that movie to see the new film with their children.
Wait a minute.
And Moana's at a weird spot where the kids are still literally at the age they would have been around the time. Like if you're a kid and you were like 4 or 5 years old when you saw Moana, you're still a teenager.
Yeah. What's even
So-
more interesting, I don't know
They
if
didn't.
What?
Did they like were what barely? Wait, hold on. You said the golden rule is 27 years.
All of the biggest hit movies in the live action genre for Disney have been 27 years or more.
How did well, I mean, technically Beauty and the Beast. Wait, actually, yeah, technically that one was right under, but I mean, we're splitting hairs at that point.
Right. They're saying that the
what
Beauty
did-
and the Beast, Lion King, and Aladdin were all within that 27 year
Yeah,
rule, essentially.
Well, more or less. What did Jungle Book do?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it did well. I don't think it did as well. Like it wasn't like a Lion King or a let me look it up. Like it wasn't like Lion King or like Aladdin.
Now-
or, like billion-dollar movies.
This is really interesting. The article also goes into remakes that waited too long. And they said Snow White and Dumbo were the ones that were aged out because it wasn't parents at that point. It would be grandparents, and grandparents weren't taking their kids to see these movies because their kids were adults at this point. So it skipped a generation, which is what made it really hard to connect with the audience. They said the only exception is last year's Lilo and Stitch, which was $1 billion movie. And it was released 23 years after the original. So it was close enough to that 27-year spot that, it did sort of hit there. But they're saying it really was just one of those sort of almost at the right number. You know what I mean?
Lilo and Stitch also helps by Stitch being one of the most profitable characters in fiction. Like everyone everywhere loves Lilo and Stitch, and people will people would watch Stitch sit on a stool for 2 hours because they love that character so much. Like it was always going to do well. And I know Cody already sent in a super chat about it. Apparently, Dwayne Johnson was pitched this in 2019.
Oh, we'll pull it up on the screen. You're talking about the one right here. Right here. Yeah.
3 years after the movie came out. That's insane.
And you were still 5 years away from the sequel.
Which I'm really curious too, because what was it, 2021? I think is when the series was announced, which ultimately did turn into a sequel. The proper sequel. But yeah, I wonder which was pitched first. I guess it kind of makes sense though. 2019, I think they had 3 live action reboots. I think they all made $1 billion. So probably at the time they were what else are we gonna do? What other movies can we adapt to make more?
Well, Dumbo didn't. Lion King and Aladdin did, but Dumbo didn't.
Was there one? I thought there was another one that did really well that year. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, Disney did well on the Marvel side that year, but
okay, maybe it was just those two. Okay, you're right.
Okay, so somebody in the chat asked with The Rock's performance, what has he done that's performed well? He voiced his character in Moana 2. So would have been when that came out, right? Which was 2024. And that was a $1 billion movie, but it was just voice acting. As far as live action, it says here, the last thing that he did in live action that would have performed above expectations would have been Jumanji, The Next Level, which was December 2019, which was right before COVID, which made over 800 million. At the box office on $100 and some million budget. Jungle Cruise didn't perform well. Red Notice, Black Adam, Red One, and Moana live action have all been not great for him. So,
okay, I just want to bring it up really quickly just to finish our convo there. There was 5 live action reboots in 2019. There was they started with Dumbo, which did not do well. They went on to do Aladdin, which is the second one. Lion King, which made $1 billion. Maleficent 2, which I think did decently. And then Lady and the Tramp premiered on Disney+.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. But the point is that that a lot of those movies are either above that, too far outside of the 27-year mark, or right under the 27-year mark, which I think is really interesting. This is one of those movies where on paper I'm like, yeah, it's $1 billion film. But looking at where it is now, it does make sense that it's not doing too well at the box office. Toy Story is still doing well. It's not number one every weekend, but it's still doing well. Minions is still doing pretty good. Parents have already picked their family movie for July, and Moana is not that movie. So
nope.
I mean, it's Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man.
I think most people are already dead set on Spider-Man.
Yeah. I would say that's probably accurate. All right. So what I want to do now is we're going to do a super chat, and then we're going to share. We're going to watch a video, which I wish that Joe would have stuck around for it, because it is a group that two content creators.
Fuck Joe. No, I'm blessing, bro.
Very familiar with. But we're going to answer the super chat first from Staggervore.
You have to.
$4.99 super chat. If there's thank you, Staggervore. If there's any animated property that should have a live action movie, it's Samurai Jack.
Ooh, yes.
I can see it.
Just make it like a Kurosawa movie.
I would love it.
I think there's some that. I think there's a few that translate well. I still stand by that. I think Scooby-Doo is one of those rare franchises, I think
Yeah,
translates very well into live action.
Yeah, even though I'm not a huge Scooby Doo fan, but yeah, they do translate to live action pretty well.
You know what? Here's a weird one. I don't know. For whatever reason, I want to see Darkwing in that format.
Darkwing,
As in the duck? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
yeah, that'd
In
be
live action. You get a CGI duck.
Stranger things have happened.
yeah.
That's
The
true.
Lion King.
Yeah.
I mean, do
I
we
mean-
think they're ever going to adapt Simba's Pride in live action?
What?
I hope not.
Probably.
Right. That.
So before we get into this is going to be over the Odyssey. I want to just kind of to go back and tread a little bit on some of the really dumb criticism that we've heard. And I want to talk about some of the content creators that I watch and what is being said about the movie and what it's projected to make this weekend, which, by the way, still numbers are looking good for it. Actually, right now it's projected. I've got the numbers right here. The film is currently tracking to open between 98 and 132 million domestically. So that's just domestic, right? And those are the industry numbers at the moment. The more conservative numbers are putting it between 80 and 100. But they say it could even go up to 132, obviously, domestically, and we'll have to look and see where we're at the end of the weekend. You guys know how I am with bro math. It's whatever. I just care whether or not the movie is good. Now, most of the people that I watch have said the movie is really good. There's been some criticism about the pacing at the beginning of the film, but they're like, once the film gets going, there's a certain point in the film where it gets going and it just continues to be good pretty much throughout the rest of the film.
Yeah. I've heard from a mutual of ours that it's a really good movie.
Right.
Several of ours, yeah.
So, and that's most people that I trust have said that it's a good film. Okay. They're saying you might not want to watch it twice. Maybe you want to settle on it a little bit, but it's a really good movie to sit through and experience, especially in IMAX. I probably won't get to see it in IMAX, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But the criticism we've heard about this movie is Lupita as Helen of Troy is going to ruin the movie because she is black.
Black woman is playing over
Right.
white woman is
Travis
Hey, guess
Scott
what?
as a bard is going to ruin the movie because he's black and he's a rapper. This is what we've heard about the movie. Go ahead, Jay.
But are any of the white actors going to ruin the movie because they're not Greek?
Right. We haven't heard that. We haven't heard that yet. But this video we're going to watch is very interesting. They talked about how having Elliot as a trans man playing Achilles, which, by the way, not playing Achilles at all. So all of those hate
They're
videos
playing
that came out for
Telemachus, who's like 15.
I
It has
know, I think
like has like
Go ahead.
the character Paige is playing has like this much significance to the plot of the Odyssey.
I think it's a different person. Let me see who it is. I just want to
Telemachus.
confirm.
Yeah,
Achilles, Telemachus is Odysseus' son.
No, they're playing Sinan.
Sinan.
Elliot
Oh, he plays someone
Sinan.
else. Okay, never mind.
And again, minor character.
Right. So all of that constant negative videos about Elliot Page ruining the movie, again, playing a character they were not, that they accused Elliot of playing, which is not Achilles. All that hate content that was sent towards him, towards Lupita, towards Travis. The video we're about to watch is from a channel that participated in that bullshit for months and months and months. It's a very short out of theater reaction. But it's really important to watch this video because they confirm that none of the things they complained about affected the quality of the movie. And their actual criticism of the movie came to them after they saw the film and had a chance to see what the movie was, opposed to flop watching and outrage farming, which is what they were doing.
You mean they actually had to see a movie to get an opinion on it?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Let's hear what they have to say.
Here we are, Alan, with our out of the theater.
Oh,
review
fuck. Not these guys.
Yeah.
The Odyssey, our social media reaction.
Christopher Nolan.
What do you think?
I was bored out of my mind.
Of course you
I
were.
was checked out on this movie pretty much from the beginning.
Probably because you
Of
didn't see
course.
movies
Sounds
every
awful.
10 seconds.
I couldn't understand dialogue. And then I started to understand dialogue and realized how bad the dialogue is.
I want to point out that this guy hates pretty much everything. Like he like trying to please him is almost impossible. So the fact that he didn't like this movie means zero to me. Now, Chris Gore, who's going to speak in a second, actually talks about the things that he doesn't like about the movie. And guess what? None of them are black people are bad or trans people are bad, which is what they did for months, right? So
This is the most pretentious movie I've seen all year. And I can't wait to not see this movie again.
The thing that didn't work for me mostly was the accents. The way they spoke, I felt diminished the film. It felt too modern. And in a way,
which by the way, it's I understand that they subjectively don't like how modern it sounds, but Christopher Nolan said for months that that's what they were going to be doing.
Yeah. So
that it was a modern version of the Odyssey.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they expected to go in and hear like Shakespearean English. That's not what the movie was never going to be that.
So I mean, I guess that means if it was a deliberate creative decision, then they have to take it as that.
Yes.
It kind of felt like El Topo. Alejandro Jodorowsky's El Topo was like a modern Western, and this felt like a modern epic.
Well, congratulations. That's what it was.
So you
Like-
learned how to read. Congrats.
That's exactly like it was never advertised as something else. So I don't know why. Like, I get that you don't like it. That's fine. But it's not a bait and switch. That's what the movie was always going to be.
And just look, there are parts that drag, especially the first half. But then there are
Okay, so that criticism is the same criticism I'm hearing from people that I trust, that the first part of the film is a little slow. So I get that. That's fine.
also moments, in particular with the Cyclops, I thought were great. The fall of Troy, I thought
The Witch.
the witch with
Samantha
played by
Ward.
Samantha Ward, she was very good, and the way they the soldiers transformed.
Hold on, let me think of what I was trying to memorize.
Well, here's the thing: is we're almost halfway through this really short, like out of theater reaction or whatever, and no mention of wokeness yet. No, like I thought that all the black people, all the trans people were going to be in there, and it was going to be so woke. Where's the wokeness? I'm curious.
You need all these black and rainbow people in this damn movie.
Right.
detail there. I thought that was very clever. But for the most part, I'm still marinating on it. It's not a disaster, but I'll say the controversial castings.
Not a big deal.
It's not that big a deal because
Oh, you mean the people that you have harassed on the internet for the last 4 months, attacked black actors, attacked trans actors, called her Helen of Detroit?
Oh my God!
Remember?
Seriously?
Yes. How many videos these guys made calling her Helen of Detroit, putting her
that's
face on
actually
the
kinda funny,
thumbnail?
but fucked up.
But I mean, like, it's just all of this racist shit, all of this transphobic shit that they spent months doing. Oh, it's not a big deal.
Jesus Christ!
It's not a big deal at all. So all of that garbage that these guys were doing and harassing actors and attacking people because they're black, it was for nothing because it's not a big deal.
Watch all those harassment videos suddenly disappear so they can try to save face.
It's not a big deal, guys. We were just racist for months for no reason whatsoever.
Because we were racist because it got us clicks.
True.
Cameos.
they're really not in the movie all that much. Although Elliot Page as Sinan is the greatest soldier I've ever known. It was called that in the movie. That's like a line in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's it's one of those things where you see a Nolan film the first time, you're like, why did you do this and that? And then the second time you see it, maybe it bothers you less.
It's not gonna happen.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm seeing it the second time.
Wait, we're almost done with this review. Where's the woke shit? I thought this movie was going to be super fucking woke because he did all these things to get into the award show with this. Like, he wanted awards for it. So I thought there was all this DEI shit in the movie.
Surprised no one's complaining. Surprised no one's complaining about the Greek actors being whitewashed again.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I guess it was all woke. What was it, like woke panic for nothing?
Here's
Thursday.
Here's my big thing. That was Matt Damon on screen. That was Anne Hathaway on screen. That was Tom Holland on screen. There was no characterization, no effort to say.
Well, that's probably because none of them are Greek. and it's really hard to portray a bunch of Greek characters when you're just white people from different parts.
Well, Eric, they don't want to criticize the straight white people.
No. That's the truth. So their lack of ability to portray these roles accurately has nothing to do with them not actually being Greek. I guess that they're trying to get away from that. But anyway, let's continue.
I'm playing this character. I'm seeing Matt Damon and Hathaway and every.
So how did they turn into a Greek person? How does that work?
Yeah,
I'm curious. Did they just like snap their fingers and they magically go from like a white British person to a Greek person?
Greek people
they got a bunch of Greek people to stand on set, and then they pulled a massive Family Guy bit where they were like, "All right, quick, change pigments."
Yeah.
Greek people are fairly darker than your standard, white person from
Yep.
Europe or Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just doesn't feel part of the period.
I don't like.
Well, it wasn't a period film. It was literally a modern
It's
retelling.
mythology.
But it's also, Christopher Nolan has said it's a modern retelling of the Odyssey.
That the colors
the Odyssey
are
is not.
muted.
Yeah. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, the Odyssey it's not history. It's a story that was told in Hellenic Greece. So it's not what historical accuracy is there. It's a fucking story.
Very muted. It should have been grand and colorful, and it wasn't that. And
Okay, that I agree with.
But also, like, they want realism, but they don't want realism, right? They want it to be more bright and colorful in general, even though there were probably parts of that story where things were not bright and colorful. But
Yeah, and honestly, judging from the trailers, that's my criticism, is that it's like, even with Dune, even though I'm a huge Dune nerd, it is so dull and drab. That's like a standard criticism from modern cinema in general. So yeah, I kind of agree with
music,
that.
it's not the best for a Nolan film. Usually the score carries.
This is the opposite of what I've heard from everyone else. Everyone else says the score is probably one of the best things about this movie. So it's really hard for me to take these guys seriously when everything feels so fucking forced.
So
It feels
you're
so
saying
fucking forced.
you're saying they're just being contrarians for the sake of being contrarian?
For the most part, it feels like that's what this is. Yes.
The movie a lot. This one didn't.
A lot of drumming.
The Travis Scott song over
right.
credits.
Oh, there we go.
Can't wait to see it at the Academy.
So the song over the credits now is a problem.
Well, they couldn't find anything in the rest of the actual movie to nitpick, so they had to go to outside the movie.
That's what I do. I complain about music over credits. That's what I do. I come out of a movie and I'm like, man, the movie was really good, but that music over the credits took it from like a 10 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10 for me because of the music over the credits.
That Negro music in there, and I don't know why they had that.
Eric's like, damn it, I really would have liked this Venom movie, but they had to put Eminem's Venom at the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, shit movie.
Yeah, ruined it for me.
This one
A
didn't.
lot of drumming.
The Travis Scott song.
So that's why
over
Lance
credits.
liked it.
Oh yeah.
Kidding.
I can't wait to see it at the Academy Awards this year.
You won't. I will say this movie will probably win a lot of technical Oscars,
Oh.
and it is
But I thought you guys said it
guaranteed
didn't look
to
good.
win an Oscar for casting. And there's a reason for that. There's a lot I want to say that I can't. This is initial reaction, and my reaction is not a disaster.
He
but
sounds
mixed.
so bored.
And for Alan,
Disaster, not me.
I can't imagine. So this is why I can't take him seriously. I can't imagine, even if you dislike this movie, that it's a disaster. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It's a Christopher Nolan movie.
They both sound so fucking bored.
not a disaster, mixed. Okay, we'll talk more later this week.
So mixed from Chris Gore means it's a good movie, but I've been shitting on it for 4 months. So I have to find reasons to dislike it in order to make sure that my audience knows that I'm still on their side.
Or to
They have
keep
to know
the
that I'm
audience on
still in
my
the game.
side.
It's his street cred with his audience. It's a 60-year-old man who still has to play games with his audience because he has to make sure they know that even though the movie is really good, he still has problems with it. It's crazy to me. By the way, I also want to pull this up. Here we go. Let me do this. It's from Sean Chandler over on Twitter. And let's
Okay.
see. And he says, this is in response to Metatron. Let me make this easier to read for everybody. If I can get the screen to catch. There we go. Metatron goes, I make this statement before watching the movie. Nolan's Odyssey is woke trash. And Sean Chandler says, the movie simply is not what they are so desperately wanting the film to be. The woke parts take up 5 minutes of screen time. And I've heard this from other people, that all of the stuff they complain about with Helen of Troy and Elliot Page and all that, it's like 5, maybe 10 minutes of the entire movie. It really doesn't make any sense. But they so badly want it to be woke garbage. And it's just not.
Yeah, they're doing their best Ben Shapiro impression.
Oh God.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, so I'm going to see the Odyssey this week. So I will obviously give my opinions on it after I watch it. I'm not sure what day I'm seeing it. But I'll let everybody know. Comes out Thursday.
Yeah.
So
oh shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I might see it that Monday I went to Monday or Tuesday.
What day?
Every day of the week he's
Actually,
going.
no, wait, shit. I took some time off that Saturday. Well, that Sunday. So you actually might see it then.
I was about to say, don't we have a plan that Saturday?
Yeah, yeah, Saturday. No, because I took off that Sunday, Monday. I took off that Sunday and Monday. So
You can't figure out the days.
look, I had some sake. Okay, look, this is my Saturday. Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, I actually took a couple of days off. I might just see it then. Okay.
So
there you
Lone
go.
Wolf sent over some tweets to read. One of them is one of the ones we just looked at. Thank you for the $2. Adam Does Movies responded to some of the controversy and says it has a strong white male lead too. The thing is, they always cry about modern movies not having is a strong white male lead. And Sean responds with, it has Jason Bourne, Batman, Punisher, and Spider-Man. That's true. John Roca here says, Sean and others, I've been saying the same thing, are 100% right. The anti-wokers who predictably hated the Odyssey are going to be scrambling to find their next culture war movie grip because their trumped up controversies amounted to one big nothing burger, which is quite interesting. So thank you, Lone Wolf. I appreciate that. All right, so we are now still 2 out of 5 super chats in the debunk chat. If you guys want to go over, I'm trying to see how much time is left on that one. An hour. So we have an hour left on that one. But I don't know if I'm going to be here another hour. So we'll see. But we also have, we're also 3 out of 5 on a second goal in Reloaded, which means we could technically hit it again in the Reloaded chat if you guys really want to throw the confetti and get 2 of these in one night in the Reloaded chat, which would be pretty fucking crazy.
I'm guessing none tonight, right?
What? No, not tonight. I'm catching up on stuff from over a week. So,
Cool.
by the way, also Christopher Nolan fans are traveling across the country to see this movie on 70 millimeter. And one person they delayed an induced pregnancy to go see the movie. So
What?
pretty big stuff. Yeah.
That's a
pretty
3-hour
big stuff.
movie.
They said you can wait.
Also, apparently a Nova movie is in early development with Michael Waldron writing the script.
Well, that's been long enough.
What do we think about that? A Nova movie.
Well, I mean, I think I've
As
talked
in
about
Nova
this
Force?
on.
What?
Wait,
I'm
that's
sorry,
Nova?
that was like overlapping. Omega?
I was saying as in Nova Force.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
that-
Like
Or
Marvel.
Novo Core, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I've said on this show previously, like it was originally a show. It was like a like Disney Plus show, and that never quite made sense to me. Like I always thought Nova would fit a movie better. Like it has that high like spectacle that you would kind of want from a movie, like a Captain Marvel kind of a character that you want to see in its biggest, brightest screen possible. So yeah, movie makes sense. I think we're going to start hearing about like post Secret Wars over these next, I'd say, year or so. Like we got to start, mapping out where we're going after this. So I think, we've already heard about Black Panther 2. We've heard about
3.
X-Men.
Mm.
So I think Nova might be in that batch of movies. keep an eye out for Blade, guys. Let's see if Blade gets back on the market here anytime soon. But yeah, that's
Blade's
exciting
lost
to me.
at this point.
I'm down to see what they do with it.
Trying to look up the box office for Spider-Man, so I get the most recent numbers.
Can I just very quickly talk about Xana's comment
Go
about Destin doing the Naruto movie?
That's
I think
true.
that's came out a couple days ago. That's really interesting to me because as Marvel fans, I think we've been so obsessed being like, okay, is he going to do Shang-Chi 2 first or Spider-Man 5 first? And it's like none of those. He's doing something else for a while, which I think is fair. He's done 3 back-to-back Marvel things. So good on him for doing something new. Although I'm curious what's up with Shang-Chi 2. Like, are we going to get a new director to do Shang-Chi 2? Or are we waiting
Please
even
don't.
longer?
I really want him to do it.
Yeah, but do we want to wait 5 more years to do a Shang-Chi sequel?
You know
know what I
who
mean?
could I was gonna say, you know what filmmaker I think would be really good for that?
What's
Hell.
up?
I would honestly like to see if if Destin Daniel Cretton's not gonna do it, let Ong Lee take a crack at it.
Okay.
No? Not feeling that? No? I mean,
like
Zack Snyder.
I mean, just
Oh,
look at a
no,
movie.
no, no.
I mean, just look at a movie like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and look at what Ong Lee
No,
did
I
there.
he's very qualified to do it. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability. I just feel like Shang-Chi kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we would be going into I don't want to say like an age demographic that doesn't totally get where that movie was doing in the first one, but I don't know if Ong Lee can handle the humor aspect that kind of is part of that character, because he didn't do a lot of that in his first big superhero movie, if that makes any sense.
I mean, that was a very different kind of superhero movie.
But that's what I mean, is I don't know what his Shang-Chi would look like, to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we're going to watch this clip, and then we're going to talk about the projected numbers for Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is going to be the last clip I watch before the movie comes out. I am on a clip, no clip, what is it? Era, I guess, for Spider-Man. Yeah.
Because of the ending of the last movie, nobody remembers who Peter Parker is. But his life as Spider-Man is going quite well.
And he's been dedicating 100% of his life to cleaning up the streets of New York.
Everybody is very happy with Spider-Man on the outside. But the reality is, every day after work, he goes home to an empty apartment and looks at the things that remind him of his old life. He has always had a pretty wonderful community around him. This is the first time that he is operating alone. At the same time, Spider-Man comes in contact with a very mysterious villain that can jump into the mind of another person.
He doesn't know who he's fighting.
You sure you want to do this, Scorpion? You think I'm Scorpion?
And they're threatening his best friend, the love of his life, to get to him.
Think I might go see how MJ's doing.
And that is his biggest fear.
What? I'm sorry, but you're in danger. You just have to trust me.
Fine. There's twists and turns and things that fans will love. And I'm really excited to see what they think.
Let's end this on a high note.
He does be looking a little gray.
All right, so I have to say that Hulk fighting segment got me really excited, and I know there's a longer version of it. I'm not gonna go looking for it because, like I said, I'm not gonna be doing any of that before the movie comes out.
Can we go
all
back
right, so
to the
the
first shot of him just really quickly?
the
Her like
Hulk
shot of the Hulk. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, all right. Let's see if I can find that here. I think it's around this part. Wait, no, it's
And
not
I'm
that.
really excited to see what they think.
Let's end this on a high note.
Right there.
Is that gray or is it just a bad lighting shot?
It feels like it could be, and you know they could be doing this for us, like making it look this way so that we think it's Gray Hulk.
I think that's green.
Yeah, the face looks green, the body looks gray, but again, it could just be the lighting shot. And Eric, you're right. They could be doing that show on purpose to make us be like, oh, is it, because I don't really want them to be gray. I think like that's a fun Easter egg for people, but like in the narrative of the story, I don't want you to have to fit in a storyline where it's like, oh, he's gray because in the comics it used to be gray, and then it,
You
like,
already did a version of him where he was, like more calm and calculated on the banner side with Professor Hulk. You don't need to go right into Joe Fixit immediately when you see him again.
yeah, I'm fine with them just being green. I don't need them to do all that, but we'll see.
Okay. Before we talk about the numbers, there was something at the beginning of this clip that I thought was interesting. They talked about the spell and him dealing with it and everything. And I have talked pretty extensively about my issues with this, I don't know, weird spell thing that happened with No Way Home. So I went to the Marvel Wiki, the one that actually documents what happens in the movies, to read the parameters of the spell to make sure that I understand what the spell does in great detail before I go in and watch this film. And I'm probably going to watch No Way Home again before I do this. So this is a standard spell of forgetting, which is what he proposes to Peter. The spell doesn't turn back time. Doctor Strange explicitly states that the spell cannot change past events. It simply alters the minds of those alive so they no longer possess the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first big problem with this. Because it doesn't say anything about changing photos, changing videos, changing interactions they've had with people. It just says they forget the fact that Peter is Spider-Man, right? So why would his friends not be his friends anymore? Based on the parameters of the spell.
Wait.
The spell this is what Doctor Strange says. The spell cannot change past events. It simply alters the minds of those alive so they no longer possess the knowledge of him being Spider-Man. So why would his friends not be his friends?
Well, that's not what he said at the end with the spell. He said, what if everyone forgot who Peter Parker is?
This is directly from the Marvel Movies wiki page.
I think that's the first spell, right? The first spell was that he wanted everyone to forget who Spider-Man was.
Right. It goes on to say the spell is designed to make the entire world forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. That I understand. Right? I get that.
That
Strange explains this
correctly phrased.
That's the
well,
first
it might not be the that's the
yeah,
first one.
The first spell was them forgetting Peter was Spider-Man. Second spell at the end of the movie made them forget Peter, period.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going through all of this, right? So this was what it says. The Strange explains the spell is inherently non-selective, making exceptions to who gets their memory wiped is incredibly dangerous because changing the parameters mid-cast destabilizes the magic. We understand this rule, right? And then it goes into the final spell. At the climax of the film, when the containment of the broken spell fails and the multiverse begins to collapse entirely, the rules of the magic force Peter to do the ultimate sacrifice. Because the multiverse trespassers are crossing over specifically because they know Peter Parker, the only way to stop them is to eliminate the root concept attracting them. The new spell cannot target who is Spider-Man. It has to make everyone forget that Peter Parker existed. This is the issue that I have with this. There's more to it here. I'll explain. Unlike the first attempt, there can be no safety parameters or grandfathered exemptions. If the spell is to work and save the multiverse, absolutely everyone must forget him, including MJ, Ned, Happy, and Doctor Strange himself. It says here, though not explicitly explained step by step by Strange, the magic reality warping mechanics of the runes of Cough Call extend beyond biological memories to cover physical and digital footprints. But this isn't explained. This is implied, right? This isn't something that we know for sure. We're just supposed to accept that that's the way it works. This is why Peter is later seen studying for his GED, and his high school enrollment tax records and personal photos with his friends were completely wiped or altered by magic, leaving him a non-legal entity. So that part I don't totally understand. The first spell seems very, I understand the first spell. It makes perfect sense, right? It means that he would be able to exist with all of his friends. They would just not remember that he was Spider-Man. The second spell leaves too much room for error, in my opinion. because it doesn't fully explain the implications of it. Because we've warped reality, which means that if Peter Parker and Spider-Man were retconned in reality, then Spider-Man wouldn't have been present for any of the events that he was needed to be present for, because Peter Parker never existed in reality. Does that make sense? How would he get recruited if he never existed?
Well, like, I think all that stuff still happened. They just
How,
don't
though?
remember it.
No. That was the first spell. The second spell is that Peter Parker has to not exist. That's what it says. It says here, the second spell, there is no safety parameters. The spell was worked to save the multiverse. It means that Peter Parker cannot exist. Not knowing him was the first spell. Not existing was the second spell. If the second spell was reality warping and he no longer exists, then he couldn't have been recruited ever. Even prior to like Civil War.
I mean, all that still happened though.
He could have just been recruited as Spider-Man and not as Peter Parker.
But how would you have found Spider-Man? That doesn't make sense.
The same way Tony got that footage of Spider-Man.
No. You're missing it. Think back to how he was recruited. How Tony was able to figure out who Spider-Man was.
Right.
Peter Parker has to exist and has to go to school, has to be there. Aunt May has to be there. All of these elements have to exist for Spider-Man to be there.
It is kind of convenient that all the characters crucial to those interactions are dead now.
But the thing is, they would have never happened. It's a reality warping spell. It's like Dr. Manhattan.
Do we not think the movie's going to explain it?
Well, no. I want the movie to, but I don't think it is. Because it's too convoluted.
And that's just not how I've ever viewed it. Like I've always viewed it that everyone just had
where did Omega
zero
go?
memory. He like did
I don't know.
a while ago.
Yeah.
But like the whole world just is blurred on Spider-Man. Like
yeah, he said he had to take a nap. I just saw it.
Oh.
Okay. I think all the things still happen the same. It's just blurred in their minds so that they cannot see all the events that led up into it.
Well,
Like,
let me see here, though. I want to read this out again. All right. The second spell, the climax of the film, when the containment of the broken spell fails, the multiverse begins to collapse entirely. The rules of the magic force Peter to make an ultimate sacrifice. Because the multiverse trespassers are crossing over because they know Peter Parker, the only way to stop them is to eliminate the root concept attracting them. The new spell cannot target who is Spider-Man. It has to make everyone forget that Peter Parker ever existed.
Forget.
Right, but that means that there's no way he could have been recruited as Peter Parker. But
again, those events were still the same. It's just I think it's like from this point onward, they don't have the memories of what had happened previously.
Yeah, so Candle gets it. No, right here. How does explain Tony being at his house and chatting with Aunt May? How would he know Aunt May if he didn't know Peter? Like, this fundamentally fucks up a chain of events.
I think it's just blurred.
But then it also says here it erases digital records and physical records of him, meaning that those things wouldn't even be present. Like, how would it do that, but then also still happen? That doesn't make any sense. And I know it's magic, but the rules that the spell has doesn't really function in the way it's supposed to. Like I don't see any path for this. Like, what ideally, the only way this works is if it's a combination of the first spell and the second spell, meaning that they forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. All those events happened, but there's no record of them. But then if you think about that, that doesn't make any sense. Like, there has to be a record of them somewhere. Otherwise, how would the events of Far From Home ever happened? How would he have ever been things passed down to him from Tony Stark? Tony would have to know he's Peter Parker. It just doesn't make any sense. The spell doesn't make sense. I hate this because I don't want to think about it when I go into the movie, but in my mind, I can't. I can't ignore it. It's just such a weird thing. And this is probably why the story was so hated in the comics, is because it just seemed really dumb to erase everything of Peter's past.
Oh, they did that. Like, I mean, there were multiple reasons why that story was hated, because like they basically said, hey, let's give Mephisto our marriage to keep Aunt May from dying, even though she's like 80 and is going to die soon anyway, just to reset
Right.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I just think the idea of erasing his history seems a little messy to me, right?
I mean, sure.
Because here's the thing. We know in Brand New Day they're going to at least address it in some way because he's trying to like build relationships back with Ned and MJ and stuff like that. And that's fine. I just think it's really weird because it kind of moving forward, it's fine. Like I think from what we know now, and we go into this movie, we understand that no one knows who Peter Parker is. Therefore, they don't know that he's Spider-Man. That makes sense to me, right? It's everything previous to this movie that becomes a little messy for me.
I mean, I doubt this is going to play a factor, but I mean, I guess like everyone except, you know, like the previous things, like you have Tony's no longer there. Maybe it, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of loophole with the characters that are dead in present day.
I would say whoever this mind reading character is might know because Peter still has all of his memories, which means that person can see into Peter's mind and see everything that he remembers. Right? So there's going to be, this is going to come into play somehow. I don't know how. I hope they make it, look, I want them to zip it up and just move on. Like get through this and then we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. Any of the older stuff that happened. That's what I'm hoping for. Either way, regardless of my issues here, the movie is tracking right now to make between 230 million and 250 million on its opening weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. Spider-Man is Marvel's golden goose for a reason.
It says here.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's the biggest since the last Spider-Man movie.
It says even the conservative tracking puts it at 180 to 190, which is still so much better than most movies have made. I think they said something like the opening of this is like the biggest opening for a Marvel movie in a decade or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I don't know about that because I mean, like you look at like something like No Way Home's numbers, it got like what the fourth or third highest ever behind what Force Awakens, Endgame, and Avatar.
Yeah, let me see something. What
didn't it like? But like that was also COVID too, right? Like
yeah, like it did all that in COVID. So
I feel like it like doubled.
So No Way Home opened to 260 on that one.
Is that
so
third
this one,
highest or fourth highest?
I don't know, but they're saying that I think they said something. I don't remember the exact number. This is one of the biggest openings in a while, I think.
Mm-hmm.
More conservative says tracking 180, 190, but the expectations are closer to the 230 mark. It is going to be the biggest opening of 2026 if it holds at 230.
Yeah.
Because Toy Story only did 159, so 230 would completely dwarf that. Right now it's tracking. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. Hold on. It is tracking right now based on early ticket sales to do 550 million globally on its opening weekend.
Which one? Sorry, you cut out for a second on my end.
Oh, Spider-Man's opening weekend globally is going to be 550 million if early projections are right.
That's already the budget.
Yeah.
Budget's done already. Yeah. I think this is very good for. Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. You're fine.
This is very good for Doomsday.
Yeah,
very good for.
Yeah, I was about to say
just,
Spider-Man is not the one I'm worried about.
I think just like the reputation of the MCU, this is also just really good. Like I think having Wonder Man, be as like critically successful as it has been. And having, even though not a lot of people watched it, like Daredevil was pretty well received and Punisher was pretty well received. I think we're slowly bringing back the good faith that people have. And I think if people go into No Way Home being like, yeah, like I haven't really seen a Marvel movie in a while, but I love Spider-Man. This could be like, oh, I really, if it's good, if this movie is good, they're like, oh, maybe I'll get back into Marvel movies. Maybe I'll watch more of these. And it will prep themselves, I think, very well for Doomsday here in a couple months. And then hopefully
that's the thing. Look at what we have the rest of this year from Marvel. We've got Spider-Man. We have Endgame coming back to theaters. and then we have
Yep.
Doomsday this year.
97 is
three,
currently
but
airing
that-
too. Yeah.
That's if this movie does well, that means Endgame's probably going to do well because that's free money for them. There's no,
Yeah.
there's nothing. They might have to pay for marketing, but other than that, that's pretty much free money for them
Yeah.
because they're not repaying actors for Endgame, right? They're putting that back in theaters for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then Doomsday comes out. This is potentially going to be one of Marvel's biggest years in half a decade.
I mean, there's
Since
Vision
2019.
Quest too, so
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What-
So pretty crazy. I'm excited about that. We did get a super chat from Lone Wolf. Did we watch the Dune? Is there a new Dune 3 trailer? We haven't watched
Yeah.
it. I'll watch it tonight though. Like I'm probably going to end within the next 30 minutes or so because I wanted to go a little bit longer to get some topics out of the way. But we'll watch the Dune 3 trailer. I'll put that in my list here. If anybody has to jump out, I get it. Cameron, we're going to look at some of your topics in a second as well, but let's go ahead. I want to watch, since we're done with the Spider-Man thing, the Digger trailer. Has anybody watched this yet?
I was waiting for the stream.
All right. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to drop out the poll for a second. So let me hide that. All right. Here we go. This is the Digger trailer. If you're watching this on playback, it may not be here. I do apologize. Go watch it and then come back. So I'm pausing it here because is this what Tom Cruise looks like when he's not like completely made up, or is this prosthetics? I feel like some of this has got to be prosthetics, right?
A lot of makeup. Yeah.
pretty sure that's prosthetics.
Even the body looks like I don't think Tom Cruise
Yeah,
would let himself
they're
go that
wrinkled
much
up.
for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a reason they've been trying to push this as his big Oscar moment, his big performance. It's very it's giving Brandon Fraser inside the Whale. Like he's doing something very different.
Oh, Lone Wolf says it is prosthetics. I was going to say because I know he's definitely older, but this is like older. This feels like it's too far. But let's see. It's prosthetics. Oh my god! Look, I'm just asking the tough question. So what do we think? Oh, Jake, I see the smug look. What do we think?
I don't love it. I don't hate it. I mean, it's a movie coming out.
Yeah,
What
we'll
about
see.
you, Darren? I think it looks fun. Like I'm excited for it, honestly.
I don't know. I'm just not the biggest Tom Cruise fan.
Yeah, he's not my number one, but
This feels like a movie I might like more than the marketing. Like this isn't the kind of humor I typically go for, but I think it's going to be a very inept movie. Like I think it's going to be very well filmed, very well acted. Again, they've been pushing this as his actor debut, like his big moment. They're really trying to push for that. So we'll see.
Ooh, I'm looking up some stuff on this for all the number people out there. So this movie had the budget ballooned. So it looks like the movie ended up costing closer to 200 million. But early expectations on this movie are having like a $40 million opening weekend.
When does
And
this
saying
come out?
that October, they said it in the end of the trailer. Here.
Okay. I mean,
Where's
look.
it at?
I don't know, guys. Clayface has competition.
October 26th.
Literally right when Clayface is out.
I actually would rather see Clayface than this, to be quite honest.
Same.
Yeah, it looks like this movie might not do well financially based on what I'm seeing. But it says here it might have the Tropic Thunder effect, which is a novelty audience.
Yeah, that's October 2nd. So what? Wait. Tom and Jerry October 3rd. The Social Network sequel October 9th.
Mhm.
Street Fighters October 16th.
Oh Lord.
Did I miss Clayface? No, Clayface October 23rd. Wildwood's October. I mean, October's kind of packed actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. October seems like a pretty
And
pretty
this
big
is a
month.
Warner Brothers movie too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're competing with themselves by putting Clayface out right around the same time.
Yeah,
Well-
sounds perfectly fine, right?
I mean, Digger's October 2nd, Clayface is the end. It's like the 26th, right? So you have almost a month apart. But yeah, October 23rd. So yeah, it's 20 days apart. And definitely different demographics as well. I don't know. Here's the thing though, if this if this goes their way, they will not care if it bombs, because if
This
like
is
goes
this is an
on-
award movie. It's an awards movie.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So.
They often don't give a shit about the money it makes if it goes on to go to the Oscars and win all these awards and stuff. It ends up getting its money back somehow. So we'll see.
So I'm going to pull the widget back up for the poll here again. We are one super chat away from hitting the goal a second time and reloaded. And if we hit that, that means 2 options will be picked. Even though it was only on the reloaded chat, 2 options will be picked. And if we hit the goal on debunks, 3 options will get picked. So could be kind of crazy. While we get ready, we're an hour away from the next episode of X-Men 97. So let's go ahead and watch this right here. It is the trailer for the Swarovski Crystal X-Men figurines, which I don't know if anybody has seen this or not. Well, we're going to look at the price tag on these in a second, but here's the trailer. Check this out. All right, so this isn't the first time that this company has done a crossover with Marvel. Apparently back in 2023, they did the Avengers.
Yep.
But before we look at the price tag very quickly, we're going to take 5 seconds on this. Chat, chime in. How much do you think each one of these figures cost? I'm going to give you just 20 seconds, 30 seconds to answer.
Price is
Anybody on the
Right.
panel? If you already know, don't say it. I would rather avoid that, but
I think from your reaction, it's expensive. I'm gonna say $200.
okay. All right. Jake, do you know how much it cost already?
I'm not going to say it.
Okay. All right. $2 million.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Here we go. Each figurine cost around $680. I think Wolverine's the cheapest one.
Yeah.
At $650. I don't know why Wolverine is $650, but everybody else
Yeah,
is
that's crazy.
$680. But
Oh, you mean the other X-Men are more important than Wolverine?
I
mean,
guess.
maybe they know he'll sell the most, so they don't have to make him as expensive.
Have a
Maybe
good
more
night,
him.
Xana. Good to see you. So yeah,
Are you gonna
these
be
are
buying Jake?
Huh?
Are you gonna be buying Jake?
Let's take a look very quickly at a close up of Cyclops. We'll check it out. Check this out. Look how cool that is. These are made of crystal, so these are pretty fucking crazy.
They're cool for sure.
Are they made of Macran crystals? Sorry.
I will say, missed opportunity not to do Emma Frost.
Well, that's what everybody's saying. They're like, why did they not do Emma Frost?
Not as popular, but yeah.
Chat, give a thumbs up if you would spend $680 on these figurines. Give a thumbs up. If not, give a thumbs down. I'm very curious how much people would spend on this.
They're cool, but no.
No, I was jesting earlier, but no. What, Darren?
What?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll tell you after.
All right. Hold on one second. What do we got here? So we did get some more X-Men news, I guess you could say. So this was from over on our favorite site, Twitter. Let me move the widget again.
Ugh.
I wish it would automatically shift when I shift the videos, but anyway. So Kevin Feige had a lot to say right here. This is from a convention. I think it was, I want to say Shanghai. The Shanghai Expo. So he's teasing Marvel Studios' X-Men film, and he had some other stuff to say. He says, well, Marvel is 90 years old. There are so many great female characters, and some of my favorite female characters are in a group called the X-Men, and the X-Men are coming up very, very soon. He goes on to say, I can't wait for all of you to see Avengers Doomsday. We have a movie after that called Avengers Secret Wars. And after that, the mutants are coming and the X-Men are coming. And that's been a dream of mine. I started with the X-Men many, many years ago. And bringing a new version to the MCU is going to be very exciting. So that was X-Men news, which means we're going to get a slate of X-Men projects probably announced close to or right after Secret Wars. You think we'll get it before or after Secret Wars?
Oh,
I think Comic-Con of 2027, we might get a tease of it.
Yeah. I think I've said it for a while. I said that I think the first 2 projects after Secret Wars is Black Panther 3, X-Men as like the first opening thing. And we've heard maybe that that Black Panther 3 might feature a mutant. So they might be right out of the gate swinging.
We know what mutant is often connected to Black Panther, so
that would be cool.
That is true. Goes on to say here, and this is about Yelena, which is interesting. If you're a fan of Yelena, wait until Avengers Doomsday. Yelena plays a big part in that.
Right.
And if you don't want to wait until then, you might see Yelena a bit sooner in the movies.
Gee, wait, hold on. You're telling me there's another Marvel movie coming out before Avengers Doomsday?
Yeah.
And there's only one Marvel movie coming out before Avengers Doomsday?
I don't know why he said that. We're 2 weeks away, Kevin. Like, you didn't have to tell us that she's in Spider-Man, which, I mean, we already knew that she was in Spider-Man.
That's not the craziest thing I've tried to see someone make up in regards to her role in the movie. If you know, you know.
And then he says he talked about casting Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. This is a controversial casting. I think over time people have kind of just, they're okay with it now because it's been so long since it was announced.
I mean, they also just realized that whining won't change it.
No. He said he's a scientist, he's a technologist, he's a sorcerer and a ruler, and to embody that complexity, that tragedy, that charisma of the character, you need the greatest actor in the world. Dr. Doom is a pivotal character in the Marvel Universe. I was confident the actor who played the greatest hero could also perfectly embody the greatest villain, so I asked him directly, and he gladly accepted.
He did.
It says here, yeah. Strange Academy and cross IP team ups. He answered a question about this. We have a thing in Marvel called Strange Academy, putting these characters together that should never really be together. That's what Marvel's all about. It's assembling heroes that might not get along and forcing them to do what's best for the world. Seeing the X-Men and the Avengers and the new Avengers and the Fantastic Four together is a dream I thought would never come true. And then we also got this here, which is this art. That was
displayed. Oh yeah.
Thoughts on this?
It's like the third time me and Darren have talked about it.
I mean, I think there's some good, there's some bad here. I do think people, I've seen some insane takes about this. I think people are losing their minds. I do think people need to keep in mind, this is not the poster for the movie. This is concept art. Concept art made by a man who no longer even works for the company.
Yeah, he was fired.
Which means this was probably made, I would not be shocked if this was made around the time of the chair stream, or maybe even before the chair stream, as they were just trying to get a vibe of what they kind of wanted for the movie. So I've seen so many people be like, oh, so they're doing this, you know, and this and this and this based on the poster. I'm like, we cannot confirm anything based on the concept art alone. Like, this is just a rough draft of what we could see. My main issue with this whole thing, though, if I had to pick apart one thing, Sam being in the back pisses me off. I think he should be right. I think he should be right, honestly, where Steve is. I think he should be right up there. But
you know what's pretty funny about this art, Eric? Namor's not in it at all.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Like Sam being pushed all the way to the back like that, I'm really not a fan of.
And think about this. You were talking about yeah, go ahead, Jake.
It also took me a few glimpses at this art to even notice Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out also that you were saying the chair stream, right? So that means they were relegating Sam behind Steve back then before,
even though
Captain America 4 even came out.
No, it was after.
No, I'm saying, like, if this concept art was very early in the stages, it might have been made before Captain America 4 ever even came out.
Oh, I mean, Sure, okay. But I mean, like they also Mackie was the third chair announced for this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still up there in like top billing. Like I think he's
Yeah,
right under
behind
Downey and
Downey,
Evans.
Downey, Evans, and Hemsworth. I believe Mackie is next. It's either him or Pedro.
Also, people are kind of curious why they're pushing Yelena so much. Yelena is like the one woman they still have left in like a leading role in Marvel, other than Shuri.
She's a standout of Thunderbolts.
But I mean, like if you look around, she's like all the women are gone pretty much.
Yeah,
they're not in this movie.
There's 5 women compared to what 20 men.
Right. So obviously they're gonna give her some credit in the movie for that reason.
I mean, like maybe not box office wise, but in terms of like consistency, she's the most consistent character in the MCU right now. Like she had Black Widow, which went directly into Hawkeye, which went into Thunderbolts, and now she's doing Doomsday, and she's also probably in Spider-Man. Like she's the one character with a consistent arc through the MCU. Well, other characters is like, okay, well, we haven't seen Shang-Chi, and we saw, Sam in one movie, and like we haven't seen Doctor Strange, and like all this stuff. Like she's the one character that has like consistently been around and having a story.
Yeah. The Lone Wolf says people are speculating the bigger the character on the poster, the bigger the role, the smaller they are, the less screen time. No, I think it's concept art, so I don't even know if that really tracks.
Yeah.
Fatman says, what annoys me is people don't understand what concept art is. Keep in mind Han Solo was a lizard man in concept art, but that was never the final project. Yeah. I don't know if this will be that far away from that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. 100%.
Yeah. And people are also mad that like they're mad at who's on rather they're mad at who's not on the poster. I'm like, guys, they wouldn't spoil characters like this that haven't been officially announced for the movie yet through concept art like this.
Right. All right, let me see here. What do I have left? Done that. So I did have another topic, 45 the most anticipated new and returning scripted shows of 2026, but we'll do that another day. I'm going to go through and see Cameron drop some stuff. We'll see what he's got in there to talk about. And then we're going to see, I will give everybody like a 10-minute window to get one more super chat and reload it if you guys want to do 2 of these topics, because I don't think we're going to hit the super chat goal in debunks unless we get some last minute
guys
stuff in there.
YouTube is killing this channel. Sorry, I had to do it since Omega was gone.
Yeah. I'm sad he had to jump out. I noticed his comment after he left, so it was like, all right.
Yeah, me too. I felt kind of bad.
All right, so Cameron sent over Nightmare on Elm Street remake is in the work at Paramount. The film will adapt the original screenplay again, so it's just going to be a remake of the original one.
Last time they remade that movie, it sucked.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I love the original Wes Craven movie, but that remake was awful. Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Home of DCU. Giancarlo Esposito said there wasn't a role fit for him in Superman, but he's eager to find his role in DC and work with James Gunn. Who would he play in the DCU, I wonder?
Wait, you said Giancarlo?
Yeah.
Whoever they want. Like,
hell, have him do the voice for Martian Manhunter. Actually, no, there's somebody else I would actually have in that role instead of him. If I were going to have anybody do the voice for Jean, I would say Sterling K. Brown.
Well, you know what? The bar is so low in these shared universes at this point. Like, anything's better than what they did at Marvel for him, I'd say.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, I want him to play someone really cool. Like, everyone wants him to be the villain, and sure, I could be like, yeah, he should be Lex Luthor. Like of course he'd be great as all these characters, but like, I don't think that's what he wants. I think he wants to do something new. I think he wants to stretch his muscles. Like let him. I don't know. Give him Commissioner Gordon. I don't know. Like give him a big character that isn't the same kind of character he's played again and again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to see, just essentially like Gus Fring 3.0.
Yeah. Which again, it sucks because like he's good at it. Like he is very good at like what he does. And like if we were going to just do the villain thing over at Marvel, I'd be like, all right, make him fucking Norman Osborn because like he would have done great at it, But no, he did Serpent Society guy for 5 minutes.
I actually think we should have gotten that movie, but I understand why they changed it. Like, I get why they made the decision, but it still sucks.
Such a weird use of him in that movie.
Kite Man is crazy, Fat Man.
Hell yeah, kidding.
Lone Wolf says Dune 3. Yeah, I've got that queued up now. All right, so here's the deal. If we want to get 2 of these options selected, we're going to watch the Dune 3 trailer, and then we're going to wrap up the stream. We are very close. We're 1 super chat away and reloaded. It's just a $1 super chat to hit the goal. You guys have been incredible tonight. So if we don't, it's fine, but we're very, very close. Let's watch the trailer for Dune 3. Let's see. Hide that for now, because I haven't voted yet. Okay.
I thought that was Xavier at first, the like bullet statue.
Oh, there we go. What do we think?
Oh, Darren's probably going to hate this movie because he fell asleep during the last one.
I fell asleep during the first one, but not the second one.
Yeah, I mean, great trailer.
This one,
right?
This one looks more exciting than the other 2 movies, in my opinion.
I've seen so many people like freaking out over, like Chalamet in this trailer, like, questioning things. I'm like, you guys know what happens to his character in this story, right? Like,
yes, I know.
it's pretty laid out.
Yeah, I mean, I've not made a secret. I just have not been able to get into Dune. I didn't like the first one, and I fell asleep during the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like these trailers on a technical level are brilliant. Like, again, I have nothing against the movies themselves. They're written great. They're directed great. The music is great. The special, like, they are, like, there's a reason why they're regarded as some of the greatest movies of this decade. And great trailer. Like, the music especially is like really good. And so maybe I'll give them another shot. Maybe I'll rewatch them, and maybe this time I'll be into it. But
just have a lot of coffee before you do it.
Yeah. Although I'll say, I'm definitely not seeing this before Doomsday.
No, I'll see Doomsday first for sure.
I thought he was about to say. I thought he was about to say Doomsday.
Doomsday. I'm not doing a double feature. Good.
Yeah,
God.
Nope. That'll be like 6 hours.
So we have a $5 super chat from Candles Jr. giving a heart, supporting the channel, and Debunks. So now we are 1 minute away in the Debunks channel from getting our goal. I think we're 1 minute away in the Reloaded channel from hitting our goal. We need 1 more super chat there to get it. And we're at a tie. Oh, we were at a tie. We're no longer at a tie. Never mind. I was gonna say we're in a unique position where we could get 3 out of 1. But that's okay. You guys have been very generous tonight, and I do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you so much. After missing Thursday and coming back and getting so much love, I do appreciate everybody being here and hanging out. This has been a long stream, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we're going to stop the poll now because it doesn't like we're going to hit the second goal. But again, that's fine. There we go. So we have 1 winner for tonight. And it is MCU villains who should return. Top 5.
All right.
All right.
And if we get 1 more super chat before I go, I'm just saying this, I will do 2, but we're gonna go with top 5.
Come on, guys, get this man a Domino's pizza.
MCU villains who should return. Yeah, if we get another one, we'll get Fave MCU supporting character again. That would be what we get top 5 of that. Which I honestly don't think we did a top 5 last time. I think we were doing top 3 back then when we did it. So this would give us 2 more options, no more honorable mentions. All right. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen for now. But before we head out for the night, let's do our shout out. So Darren, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me over at Darren Sanctuary. We do Pipeline every Thursday. I haven't filmed this week's episode yet, so we got something coming out. And then we stream every Mondays. Me and Taz, and now sometimes Jake. We've been talking X-Men '97 and My Adventures with Superman, and what else is coming? We got Caped Crusader coming up here soon, and Lanterns, and Ted Lasso, and all these kind of fun shows. So, yeah, thanks Thanks for having me.
Okay. And Jake, what about you? What's going on this week?
Well, I got my coverage of the X-Men 97 episode that is slowly creeping upon us.
30 minutes.
I was wanting to do like a reaction to 4 and 5, but it's going to be a joint video review where I talk about episodes 4 and 5 together. And then we've got another Lost Levels stream that I'm doing this upcoming Sunday. It's another like a Batman stream, and then I'm going to be in San Diego for Comic-Con the week after that. My feet are going to be dead by the end of it. But yeah, I've got another Arkham ranking that I'm releasing before then, as well as a handful of shorts that I'm putting out before then too. So yeah, just stay tuned. We're close to monetization and 2K.
Okay, awesome.
Also, check out the hat with my logo on it.
Also, tomorrow there is no Copecast. I'm actually going to the barber tomorrow, so that'll be during my Copecast time. But I will have a video going out tomorrow on the Debunks channel. No video for Reloaded. Actually, I want to ask you guys something in the chat. So with my Reloaded videos, I've been doing 2 a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? I've been just doing 2 pre-recorded videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't want to overwhelm anybody. Would you guys be okay with me adding a 3rd video during the week, pre-recorded video on Reloaded, to maybe come out on like Fridays or Mondays or something like that? Because right now I'm just doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm just curious if the chat wants more of the videos, because you guys have really been watching and supporting my recent videos, which are sort of like me talking, but also reacting to stuff on the Reloaded channel. If you want more of that, like, let me know. You can respond here in the live chat, or you can do it on playback if you're watching on playback. I can up it up and do one more video, like make more, a week, and throw some extra videos out if you guys are interested in that. I don't want to overwhelm people with too much content and spam up their inbox. So let me know about that. All right. And with that being said, I have a video today where I talk about heavy spoilers. So check that out on Reloaded. And I have a video where I'm talking about the drama and the double standards over with the nerdrotic people, stuff like that, on my Debunks channel. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about Odyssey. I'll probably talk more about the video we watched tonight in detail. So there's that. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much. Awkward outro, and good night.